Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to the sewing room. Let's sort that out. Yvonne's here. Morning, peeps. Hope we're all well. Good, very good. Thank you. How are you? Tristan's here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Trisha's here. Morning, afternoon, peeps, from a very breezy Liverpool. Good morning. Well, just 3 minutes left of the morning. So, just had an email to say that I've gone live. That's good to know. I was hoping to be cutting out this dress today. It's actually the 7945. I've made it once before in the red electric feathers viscose, and I absolutely love it. And I was hoping that I was going to cut it out of this leafy print. I'm going to try and find the pattern. Let's see. There it is. So for view C, 100, yeah, I've got 4 meters 18, and it says that I need 4.8 meters of 150 wide, and mine's 140. So I don't know if I'm going to have enough fabric to do this dress from that print, which is really annoying. I do have another print that I could possibly use, but I was kind of hoping to do something else with that dress, with that fabric. Jane's here. Hi, all from Bristol. Hello. Caroline says afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Sharon says hi from Australia. Good evening. Anna's here. Hey, how are you? Very well, thank you, Anna. How are you? Trisha says, love the dress you're wearing. Thank you. Dear and Doe Magnolia, out of the palm fabric that Alexandra sent me from Australia. This is the mini version with the fluttery sleeves. We like it a lot. Yeah, I've got 4.3 meters of this, and it says I need 4.8. I'm kind of wondering, do I iron the fabric and see if I can make it work? Because the trouble with this is that there's some really big pattern pieces. Yeah, there's some really, really big pattern pieces. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough fabric. It might be worth, well, because my other thought is if it, that's not gonna work either, because I haven't got any lining fabric. Not enough anyway. Okay. I probably bought whatever they had left of that fabric. Because usually, if I buy more than 3 meters of viscose, it's usually 5 meters. Never mind. Mary says, hi, all from freezing cold Australia. Good evening. Mim says, hi, everybody. Good morning, Shan. How are you? Greetings from Germany, by the way. Your dress is hot. Isa, thank you. Very well, thank you. How are you? Renska is here. Says, hi, you look wonderful in your dress. Thank you. Leslie says, good morning, all. Good morning. Kathleen says, I'd lay out the pattern pieces before taking the time to iron the fabric in case it doesn't fit. Yes, but I am going to be using this fabric because it's one of my leaf collection fabrics, so it's got to get used. Because my other thought was do a sew over at Doris dress with this. But I do need some lining fabric for that. And I've got enough to line the bodice, I think. I'm gonna have to order some more. Yeah, I'm gonna have to order some more plain viscose to line my dresses with. Because my other thought was I was going to make one of these out of the Savannah viscose, which technically has leaves on it, but I am a bit worried that it's really sheer and might end up being a bit see-through. which this one is as well. This is why this one needs a lining. Okay. Well, that's scuppered that plan. I've just ironed all the pattern pieces as well. Right, well, the other fabric I've got that I'm thinking of, although I am reluctant, because I think I want to make a different dress with this one. I do definitely have 5 meters of this one, but I really want to make the ruffly wrap dress from this one, I think. I do want another one of these dresses though, because I wore my other one the other day and it's so comfy. Okay. Johanna's here. Good morning, peeps. Good morning. Natalie says, hi, peeps. Hello, welcome. Gina Pins, good morning. I'm also cutting out at the moment yet another Roscoe blouse, number 5. Windy here in Newcastle upon Tyne. It's actually quite sunny today, although there is a little bit of wind, but not ridiculous amounts. Kathy says, good morning, Shine and Peeps. Good morning. Lynn says, hello from Pennsylvania. Good morning. Joe's here. Morning, Shine and Peeps. Good morning. Lollapalooza says, morning all. Just got out of bed. 7 a.m. here in Ontario. Good morning. So yeah, I do think I want this one to be the ruffly dress. So I think that's going to go back in the stash for now. Right, okay, so that one I want to be videos. That one I need to trace the pattern. Yeah, I don't think this is going to fit because I remember having 5 meters of the last one and ending up with nothing left over. This is a fabric hungry beast of a dress, but it is a gorgeous dress. Yeah, I think I'll do what you've suggested though, just to double check. I'll lay the fabric out and see if I can squeeze the pattern pieces on, because I really would like another one of those dresses. It would be ideal. It is just such a nice dress to wear in heat. Stay there, behave. Do not move. Yeah, I was measuring this out and it was like, no, I've only got 4. How have I only got 4? Let's see. So yes, good plan, whoever suggested it, to lay pieces out before I iron all of this fabric. Definitely, like I say, need to order some more plain. No, there's definitely not going to be enough. This is too narrow. I'm pretty sure. Let's just double check. Now that we've started, let's just double check. I don't think I can nest the pieces. I am determined to get another one of these dresses done. But like I say, it kind of has to be the right fabric, because it's one of those ones that I like it, but I don't wear it super often. I mean, I always enjoy it when I do wear it, but it's not one of those ones where it's a super precious fabric and I'm going to want to wear it all the time kind of thing. I make sense in my own head. Okay. Okay. So See what I mean about giant pieces? And that only just fits on. No, cut one on the fold. Okay. That's got to be cut on the bias. So this can go in here. So I'm just marking with pins on the fabric really roughly where the pattern piece comes to. Don't put pins in your mouth and walk around. Do not do as I am doing. Okay. Okay, so where are my pins? Gosh, miles down. This really is a huge dress. I've got another piece that needs to go on the fold. Another giant skirt piece. That can possibly Huh. This isn't gonna work. I'm about 20 centimeters short. Oh, actually, maybe. So that one's got to get cut on the bias. This is the back facing. There isn't enough room to cut it on the fold, but I can cut two and piece it. So now I'm going to have to remember the order that I've laid this out in as well. Because I think can I get this to work? I can get this to work if I don't cut the facing. If I don't cut the facing on the fold, there is just enough room. Thank you for the recommendation of giving it a try before I ironed my fabric, because I probably wouldn't have bothered, so that's good. Like I say, now I've got to try and remember which order I put them in on. Got to iron it all now as well. Fun times. Did I take all the pins out? I think I did. That's good. Right. So let's get all this ironed. Whilst the iron is warming up, I'm going to catch up with the chat and then work out how I'm going to bring you over here so you can hang out with me whilst I'm doing the thing. Let's see. Where did I get to? Gin and Pin says you could cut the fashion fabric and order the lining fabric and cut that out together. Yes, I could do. Voxer says, hi, hey, hello everyone. Hello. Laurie says good afternoon. Hello, welcome. Mim says perhaps if you shorten the dress a little bit. Not going to do that because I love the length of my red feather one, and the only reason I wear that one is because it's a maxi dress. If it was any shorter, I would not wear it. Kathleen says, bit the bullet and bought a new machine this week. Husqvarna Viking 980Q. Pick it up on Tuesday after a class on how to use it. Can't wait. That's very exciting. Happy New Machine Day. Janet says, good morning from the British Columbia. Can't sleep, but happy to catch the live. Good morning. I'm sorry you can't sleep. There's nothing worse. Natalie says to Kathleen, ooh, how exciting. Congrats on the new machine. Indeed. Monica says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sean. You look gorgeous. Thank you. Hugs from Ontario, Canada. Just waking up and going to be sewing up the Butterick 6677 VB in black cobra corsage. Very nice. I don't know what that pattern is off the top of my head, so I will have to have a look. Let's see. Butterick 6677. Images. Ooh, nice. You see, that's going to be really pretty. Very pretty indeed. I like it. Claire C says, good morning, Shine and Peeps from sunny Cheshire. Lovely to be here live. Have had to catch up later for a couple of weeks. It's nice to have you, Claire. Kathleen says to Natalie, thanks, only the third sewing machine I've bought and I have been sewing for over 60 years. Oh, wow. Ginny says, does the pattern include a lined bodice? If so, that could be deducted from the amount needed. You're right, it does include a lined bodice, but I think I have enough, and if not, yes, I need to cut 4 of those. I think I have enough. If I don't, I can cut that out of a viscose, which I do think I have some spare somewhere. Thank you for reminding me, because I would have completely just cut out one set. Well, I wouldn't have. I'd looked at the pattern piece and seen that it said cut 4. It'd be fine. Kathleen says, can you just shorten the skirt a bit? Nope. Rachel says, hi everyone, made it this week. Hope you're all well. Very well, thank you, Rachel. How are you? I love the Anna dress that you put up on Instagram for your May Makes. It looks very pretty. Natalie says, yay. Monica says, what pattern are you cutting out? The 7945 from McCall's. Lollapalooza says, hooray, the sewing gods have smiled upon you. Yes. Mary says, good morning from North Carolina. I really love your dress collections. Thank you. Noelia says, hi, Sean. Hope you're well. Hi, Peeps. Very well. Thank you, Noelia. Did you enjoy your lunch the other day? It looks like you had fun. Christine says, hi from Lancashire Coast, working on pant fitting using Starlark Mackenzie pants. I think I am winning. Nice. Very nice. Right, let's try and move you over a little bit so that I have some kind of a hope of seeing what you're saying whilst I'm ironing. Move you over as far as the lead will let me without knocking over my drink, because that would be bad. Do not knock over beverage, not alcoholic beverage. It's far too early in the morning for alcoholic beverages. It is a squash, not remotely alcoholic. Right, let us get some 4-point-something meters of viscose ironed. This is one of those times where I would love to have a super long cutting table so that I could lay out the whole of the fabric and pattern pieces all in one go and really make sure that it actually fits. I do always kind of hate having to kind of, you know, like one of those ones where you really have to properly pattern texture something to get it on. I mean, it's probably terrible of me. I'm probably very wasteful of fabric, but I have started making bias winding and scrunchies and, you know, things like that with my excess fabric. So I don't waste any of it. And I do love this print. I love this print so much, in fact, that I bought it in the white and blue colorway and also this grayscale. The white and blue one I got from one of the quilt shows, or it might have been a knitting and stitching show, but it was from the Textile Centre. And it was one of the first times that they were there, and they'd set up their stand right outside the VIP section. So it was just literally the first thing that you saw. And I bought quite a lot. I did buy quite a lot from there. And the blue and white version of this, they only had 3 meters left on the bolt, or it might just have been a little bit extra, but there was some discoloration on it, some little brown spots. And there was another lady, and I was clutching the bolt trying to find out how much there was, because I wanted at least 3 meters, because I was going to make an eve dress with it. So I was clutching onto the bolt, and there was another lady. She was like, "Oh, I'd like some of that when you're done with it." And I was like, "Okay." And I knew there wasn't a lot on the bolt, and he kind of measured it out, and he was like, "Oh yeah, there's sort of just over 3 meters, but." Where did that go? He was like, "But you know, there's some coloration damage on it," and I was like, "Well, I'll take the lot then." And this lady was like, "Oh, well, I want some." It's like, "I'm really sorry, but I have had it. I have got it first, and I'm not going to buy less than I need because you want some. I don't know you." And yeah, there was a little bit, you know how they do on the Textile Centre's website's been closed for a while now, hasn't it? I hope it opens again soon. It's definitely my main source for inexpensive but pretty rayon prints. But they had a piece like on a body form hanging up above the thing. I was like, well, there's a little bit up there. You know, how much is there? Because I actually wanted 5 meters. And he was like, "Oh no, you don't want that piece. We've cut it all apart so that it will drape on the bodice nicely." It was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, I took the rest of the blue and white one, and I had thought that I'd ordered 5 meters of this one, but I clearly just ordered whatever they had left on the website, because as I say, I've got 4.8 meters. But I do know that, you know, that moment of seeing like your dream fabric in somebody else's grubby mitts, and you're like, "But I want some." The heavier weight viscose linen that I've made the 8577 from, if you've watched yesterday's video, that fabric, Mum actually had seen it first at a show. It was from Stitch Fabrics, and she bought 5 meters and has made an 8577 with hers. And there wasn't there wasn't a lot left on the bolt. It was hers had the burgundy flat like colourway in it. And I was really tempted, but I was like, no. And I regretted not buying that fabric so much. So when we went back the next year, or it might have been the next show, and they had it in the same print, but in the teal colourway. It was like, oh, it was meant to be. This one's for me, the other one was for you. So, yeah. I'm thinking now with that, having to cut the bodice out 4 times rather than just twice. I have got, I don't know, I'm worried about this one, that fabric, because it's going to be see-through. Maybe I should just cut out the Doris dress and then get the bodice of that cut out, because I have that lining here, and then just order some more of the lining fabric and make the skirt up when that one arrives. I've got itchy nose. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I will do that. Because I do really like the Doris dress. I don't know. I'm having second thoughts. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Karen says, hi Peeps, cold here in Australia tonight. I hope your weather is good. Not too bad, not too bad. There's 2 of you that have said Australia's cold. Are you both in the sort of southern parts of Australia? Because I know there are bits of it that never get cold. Well, I think. Noelia says, I did enjoy lunch, thanks. Plus, I told Lisa about you and all of your eaves. She was very touched to hear you've made and want to make so many. Actually, she has commented on one of my posts on Instagram with the Eve dresses in, just saying, oh, I love the colours, and also she loved the shoes that I was wearing with it. So that was nice. Rachel says, is that a new Eve dress that you're wearing, Shan? Don't remember seeing that one before. It's very heart eyes. No, this is the Deer and Doe Magnolia with a full circle skirt. And this fabric's from Australia. And it's still available on Spotlight. It's a lovely rayon. So I made this magnolia and then the full length maxi magnolia with full length sleeves. I was going to wear that on the gala dinner night at the retreat, but I wore my 8997 instead, because I haven't worn that one either yet. Oh, have you guys seen that the dressmakers ball might be happening next year? They're announcing things in July. I really want to go. Janet says, I really enjoyed the last posted video. You are so encouraging about enjoying what one makes, and it's okay to make oodles of what makes you happy. Thanks. I mean, that's the main part of the joy of sewing for me, is that I can make what I want to make and what I enjoy wearing. Like, I mean, this is thoroughly overdressed for what I'm doing today, but I feel lovely in this dress. I really do. So yeah. Sal's here. G'day, Shan and Peeps. Hi. Elena says, hello, Shan and Peeps. Hi. Jen and Pin says, I had a similar experience buying fabric to make bunting. I found where it was, then went to the other side of the shop to pick up a different bolt of fabric. And when I got back, someone else had it. I know. And then he was like, but there's mine. Stop touching it. Lollipus Loser says, go for the maxi dress. Monica says, I think cut this out as planned. I'm a bit worried about it being see-through. Having ironing it, I'm a bit worried about it being see-through. Johanna says, stick with your first instinct. Karen says, Queensland, but we have been having Antarctic winds blasting up the east coast, 5 degrees minus the wind chill in the morning. Wow, that is cold. That is cold for Queensland. Blimey. Noelia says, I've just seen the post you're talking about and her comment. Oh, yes. And Jennifer says, I'm an eldest daughter, and I just said, that's designed for bunting. Sowing doubts in her mind. She backed out when she found out it was £8 for half a metre, not a metre. Eliza says, good morning from St. Martin. Peeps, good morning. Terry says, where I am in Tasmania is supposed to get down to 0 Celsius tonight. Brrr, that's very chilly. Tasmania is right down on the south. You're in the little island like we are as well. Jules says, greetings from Germany. Hi, welcome. Jojo's here. Hello, lovely peeps. Just popping in to say hi. You look amazeballs. Very excited to hear about the dressmaker's ball. I know, right? I know. I'm going to have absolutely no idea if I'm going to have money to buy tickets, but I think that they're going to have to go on the credit card, and we'll work it out, because I thoroughly enjoyed the 2 that I have been to. And obviously, if we hadn't just had the last couple of years we had, hopefully there would have been 2 more to have gone to. But yes, I am super excited, and I really, really want to go. So I think I'm going to book some tickets, because why not? Hopefully Mum will want to come, and Big Bird. Hopefully. I mean, in all honesty, like, I could probably book tickets and end up knowing quite a few people there, but it's always nice going with somebody, isn't it? It's always nice having that person that you're going to kind of like meet ahead of time, and you can have someone to sit with, and yeah. Oh, my sister-in-law went to a wedding last night, and she was wearing her teal Cobra Corsage 8577, and there was a lady there that came up to her and was like, oh my gosh, I recognize that fabric. Did you make that yourself? Did you make your dress? And she was like, yes, I did. And they started talking, and Nia was like, oh, we're known as Big Bird and Baby Bother, and this lady knew exactly who they were. She has a website called Little Fig, makes children's clothing, and yeah, they were so small world. But yes, when Nia was like, oh yes, I'm Big Bird and this is Baby Bother, she was like, I know you. But yes, if you're in the sewing world at all, I don't imagine that. I would imagine that you had to have kind of like really been living under a rock to have never seen Cobra. Not that you have to have sewn with it or worked with it or own it. But if you've never seen Cobra Corsage, it's one of those ones. It's just this fabric that everybody knows about. Like I say, the first time I saw it was at the dressmaker's ball. And it was a friend of Abby, who Abby does the Tilly and the Buttons YouTube channel or social media, but it was her friend who was wearing this fabulous dress. It was a kind of a slinky pencil skirted. I think it was a Gertie pattern. But she looked fabulous in it. So that was my first time seeing Cobra Corsage, and it was just like, I need that. I need that. Okay, nearly done. Nearly done. Then I actually really do need to make a decision. I am kind of leaning towards the Doris dress, guys. I was actually going to put my one Doris dress that I have on this morning, but then I thought, I haven't worn this one yet. Let's wear this one. And so this is what I have on. Let's see. Let's catch up with the chat. Michelle says, good morning from Boxford. Mass, not Bermuda this week. I'm visiting my friends for the weekend, but couldn't miss at least popping in to say hello to my favourite peeps. Welcome. Enjoy your trip. Jojo says, I've immediately started planning how I'm going to make my outfit. We only have a year. Haha. Game on. Nice. Rachel says, when I first saw Cobra Corsage, I hated it. Oh, wow, really? Really? What made it grow on you? Jenny says, greetings from Sydney, Australia. Good evening. Rachel Lynn says, good morning. Lala Pulusa says, I love ironing. Does that make me weird? If so, I'm okay with that. You can come do my ironing anytime. I don't mind ironing fabric like this, especially when it behaves as nicely as this and the creases just immediately come out and it's lovely and smooth. It's like, oh, yay. But then when it's fabric that really doesn't want to be pressed, then it's just like, why must you behave like this? Why? Let's see. Jennifer says, hi peeps from Yay in rural Victoria, Australia. Good evening. And Rachel says, I think it was your Eve dress, but it still took a while. Wow. Yeah, I was in love the minute I saw it. It literally reminded me of Gucci. And we all know how designer clothes. I very much enjoy designer clothes, even if I can't afford them. I'm having some of my squash just to prove that it's not alcohol. Alcoholic drink earlier. So. Right. Let us lay this fabric out and have another think. Because I am still not convinced. I'm thinking this might end up being a Doris dress. Because I do love my Doris dress. I think if I do the Doris dress, I'm actually going to make the ties wider like they are on this one. The ties are very narrow on my Doris dress, and I do use them as a belt like I am with this one, because otherwise I think that the dress is too loose on me, and I don't like just tying them at the back. So I think I would widen the ties. I also want to eliminate the front placket, because I'd still keep a faux placket in for buttons. Sorry, this is going to be really fun while I try and... Let's do it the other way so that I'm in shot. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Okay. So, yeah, I want to eliminate the front placket or the front crossover, because it makes it finishing it at the waistline difficult. Not impossible, but difficult for the way that I like to finish dresses. Not that everyone has to finish it the same way. And then I also want to move the side zipper to a centre back zip, because there is room for it to be a centre back zip, and it will be fine being a centre back zip. So I need to do some changes to the pattern if I cut out the Doris dress from this. I do I know I make changes to patterns for construction methods and things like that. There's nothing wrong with the way that the Doris dress is designed and constructed according to the pattern instructions. Like, you know, that there's absolutely nothing wrong with it at all. I just prefer lined bodices over facings, as we all know. Do not enjoy facings. And trying to get this all to lie on grain, sorry, out of shot yet again. There's just, having made it, there's just a few things that I want to change because I want to finish the insides in certain ways. And I don't overlock the insides of my woven dresses, and that is purely and simply because I was terrified of my overlocker for the longest time, and it just sat in its little cubby hole taunting me. And because I was afraid to use it, I didn't use it, and that meant that I had to find a way of finishing seams on the insides of dresses so that they wouldn't, you know, just be raw and unravel and make a mess when the things got washed, which is where my love of French seams has come from. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with overlocking the insides of your dresses if that is your preference. And again, only people that are going to know are the people you tell, because it's the inside of your clothes. So unless you go around showing everybody, then nobody's going to know. Nobody will know. Unless you're a crazy person like me who just sits on the internet and chats about the inside of clothes. Actually, I get loads of people asking to see the inside of my clothes. And I've started taking photographs of them for Instagram to show you what the insides look like, because I get asked about it a lot. It's like the 8577, as I said, I pink the seams of the skirts on that one because I'm sewing it with a smaller. So that's sheer laziness, that one. I don't want to retrace the pattern for my new size because the pattern is giant, and I really don't want to retrace that. I've done all that hard work more than once because I've made it for 3 customers and then obviously myself. So I've traced that pattern 4 times. That is more than enough for anyone in any one lifetime, because that is a giant pattern. It is huge. And I traced it for myself when I was a lot smaller than I am now. The fact that they still fit is kind of amazing. So I sew it with 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, which means that there's not enough room for French seams. I mean, there is technically, but there is technically enough room for a French seam, but it would be really difficult. Really, really difficult. You're talking like 1/8 inch sewing, which no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to make my life any harder. So that's why I pink the seams of that skirt, is because I'm too lazy to retrace it at the correct size that I am now. So I pink. And like I say, if it's good enough for Dior, and there are photographic images of the inside of Dior couture gowns with pinking on them. So yeah. Right, where am I? Elena says, I'm having a complete Sean made me do it moment. Searching internet for the dress, that dress pattern from yesterday. I just want that mega skirt in some ridiculously large print. Oh, Rachel's one, your red lobster one that you wore at the retreat. Oh, that was amazing. I haven't got any of that fabric, and I'm thinking that I really ought to get some of that fabric. Let's see. Kumari Nohim says, hello from sunny Switzerland. You look lovely in your magnolia. This dress is stunning. Oh, thank you so much. Nandal says, hi, I'm from India. I'm Indian. Hello, welcome. Rachel Lynn says, what's the other option other than the Doris dress? Good question. Doris? It could be a shirt dress, the 9345. I love, love, love my 9345 that I've got from the viscose stripe with the goldfish on it, but again, needs to be fully lined. What else could I do with this? And Anna. Oh, I could do one of the dresses that I did. Actually, that could be quite nice. One of the Vogue dresses. Whoopsie. Pattern's making a bit for freedom. This one this one here, short little fluttery sleeves, and it's got the circle in the back. This one again needs to be fully lined. Maybe I should just try and get these pattern pieces on again and see how we go. I think these are even, maybe they just fit on. Okay, just having that right. Okay, so to get this. Okay. It's just so sheer. This fabric is really see-through. Like I fully lined the bodice of my red one because the words are hard. I fully lined the bodice of the red one because that's what the pattern calls for, but I didn't line the rest of the dress because the fabric wasn't sheer. This is a semi see-through fabric. And the skirt, whilst it's full, it's skimming over the hips. And it's not the kind of thing that I'm going to want to wear a slip underneath of it. That's the beauty of that red dress, is that it is just so light and floaty. Could make this one. Could make this one. Oh, I don't know. Charlotte says, hi Shan, love the dress and fabric you're wearing. Thank you so much. How are you? Sal says, your mannequin will know. Nimoy says, hello everyone, don't forget to like the stream, peeps. Oh yes, there's 135 of us and 41 likes. Lollapalooza says, thanks for retracting, that was getting weird. Wasn't me, somebody else did that. So maybe they did that. Let's see. Carolyn says hello. Carolyn says hello, sweet peeps. Hello, welcome. Nimoy says, you're keeping me company on the sofa with some crochet today. Stupid summer cold is sucking all my energy. Oh, you poor thing. Gin and Pin says, I've cut out a shift dress, new silhouette for me. I'm going to fully line it as the wearable toile is in polyester suiting and I don't want it next to my skin or see the facing under the fabric. Yeah, good plan, good plan. Lady Vegas says, hello from Ohio in the US. Hello, welcome. Elena says, is Magnolia same as you're wearing now or some sort of coveralls pants dress? This is the Magnolia. I could definitely do this. I could definitely make a Magnolia out of this. I am enjoying wearing this one. I don't know if I have enough fabric for the full skirt though, because I do. One of the reasons I love this is because I have a giant circle skirt on it. So yes, with a centre front seam, which you cannot tell, but it's because I sewed the skirt the wrong way because it's got a side zip in it, not a centre front zip, because I'm an idiot. Rachel Lynn says, what would you line it with? And I like the idea of a magnolia dress. This one actually has got this is why I'm wearing, this has got the same fabric on the lining, because I was worried. I mean, the neckline does sit nice and flatly, which is great, but I was worried that if anything peeked out, I didn't want it to be like a stark white. I could get away with it with this print. Yeah. Lena oops meant, are those the options for making from that fabric? Yeah. I'm kind of thinking maybe that Vogue one. I don't know. They all need fully lining, and I have no lining fabric for it. That's the trouble. Gin and Pin says, I'd say yes to the magnolia, but would you still need to line it all? Yeah. And Kenzie says, hello, the Vogue 9345. Yes, again, that is a very, very possible option, but again, it would need fully lining. Lady Vegas says, will you be making the Reglis dress this year? I'd love to see that one. I am, yes. I have got, actually, for all of the Patreon peeps, in a couple of weeks, these are going up for a vote for which one I should make next. Can't make any of these out of this because I need to trace these patterns, and I don't want to do that today. I don't think I'm going to make this fabric into this maxi dress because it is see-through, and that just means that I wouldn't feel comfortable wearing it without a slip. And one of the reasons, like I say, that I love this dress is because it is so light and airy. I think if I was to make it out of this one, I wouldn't need to line it, because whilst there are sheer parts of the fabric, because the print overall is so dense, I wouldn't need to line it. But this one has much bigger areas of white, just solid white. So I think I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board for this dress and find a different fabric for it, because I don't think this is not the right combination. Seemed like a good idea at the time, but it's not the right combination. So let's fold the pattern pieces up and put them away. I will make another one at some point. I'm going to be on the lookout. Like I said, this is 140 wide and this just fits. So I need to be on the lookout for 140 wide minimum viscose in a darker colour, so that, or in a colour that won't need lining. Because I do not want to wear a slip with this dress. It kind of defeats the object of this dress, which is to be worn in the hot months, of which we do get a few weeks, days, sometimes in the UK. We do get a few hot days. Not many, admittedly. I did take this dress on holiday with me, and it was glorious on holiday in Croatia. So at some point, I will make another one of these, just not from this fabric. Now, it's very nice having you guys here to chat through my decisions. So I can put this one back in the cupboard for now. And this one goes there. Now, oh, itchy nose. I'm thinking, because I've made this from a navy fabric with flowers on it and long sleeves, but it does come, and I did trace the shorter fluttery sleeve version of this, and it also has the cutout in the back, which I think is gorgeous. The only thing I want to change about that one is there's a centre front seam, and there really doesn't need to be. So if I do cut it out of this, I'm going to cut it with a seam, the centre front on the fold. And I like the skirt. That's the skirt I've used on this dress. So it is full, but it's not like ridiculously full. Although I do like a ridiculously full skirt, as we know. What do we think? Should I go for this one? I've only got one of these, got a long sleeve one of these. It will need to be fully lined. It will need to be fully lined. What do we think? What do we think? Mim says you can do the skirt from the 1743 with the Magnolia bodice, not in a viscose. The reason I like the skirt from the 1743 is because it's got some structure in it. So I use, you know, like the quilting cottons, cotton satins, the drills, the denims, things like that. That's the reason I like that skirt. In a viscose, it would not be for me. I like my viscose skirts to be much sort of floofier. I like the floof. I like the floof. Rotten Ralph says fabric everywhere, but not a yard for lining. I know, right? I'm terrible. I'm terrible. Yeah, there isn't fabric here. I've got loads of cotton lawn lining. For the last, I ordered 10 meters of viscose Marrakein from the fabric room, the white viscose Marrakein, and I have used it all. So I need to order another 10 meters. So that won't count against my fabric buying ban as well, because I don't see the point in limiting yourself or not buying lining fabrics that are essential for completing a project if you need them. I don't think that's a sensible application of the fabric buying ban. Let's see. Carolyn says, make it reversible instead of lining. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I'm not sure my little brain would cope with that. Nimue says, I did finish my first Shan made me do it this week. My modified 7626 is hanging up, all done and hemmed. Just need to find a good day to wear it and take pictures. Gonna have to have a look at that number because that number does not ring bells and it's sounding like it should. Nichols. 7626. Images. Oh, nice. You've beat me to it. It's the little pinafore. Nice. Yes, I would like to see pictures, please. Thank you. Teresa says, currently finishing up my 13th little dress for Project Dress A Girl. These are so much fun to do. Never had a daughter, so this is my chance to make little girls' dresses. Oh, that's lovely. Elena says, other than that comes to mind is the dress you made with the solid colour with sash. Oh, yes. I've got 2 of those. And maybe, but I think I prefer them with long sleeves as winter dresses because of the way I can style them. Yeah, no, I don't think I want to do that with this one, but yeah, that's a not a bad idea. Jen and Pin says, we are due hot weather later this week in the UK, but I'm not holding my breath. No, me either. Charlotte says, attempting to sew decades of style butterfly blouse whilst watching today, inspired by Costuming Drama's video this week, and have dug out my 30s button dress out for the retreat. Nice. Very nice. I want to make that pattern. I love that pattern. Yeah, I saw Nicole make it up and it was just like, I need to get around to that. Lollapalooza says, oh, that butterfly blouse looked awesome, but a little complicated. Rachel Lynn says that Vogue is pretty too. Gin and Pin says it doesn't seem that long ago that you were ordering the viscose lining. I know, but because I like such fluffy dresses, I use so much fabric in them. Like, it would be really nice if shift dresses, you know, like if I really like the sort of 60s mod look, sort of shift down to here, kind of straight up and down, that would be great, because I wouldn't need quite so much fabric of all the things, but I want the giant skirts because I like how they floof, and I like emphasizing that I do go in at the waist because of the giantness of the hips and the ass. So a 60s shift on me, I don't think would look great. Carmen says, hello from Cape Town, South Africa. Hello. Noe says, you should consider getting an entire bolt of that lining. You might get a discount. It's £3 per metre. I could definitely consider getting a bolt, but it's £3 per metre. I mean, that's not including VAT, so £3.60 per metre. But yeah, even at that price, I can't complain. Monica says, yes, go for it. Sal says, I'm currently finishing my dream helm, the dream cape with the flames I showed on the Peeps group belongs to it. Ah, yes, I saw that. That looks very cool. Guys, I think I'm going to do this one. I think I'm going to do this one because I really do love this dress. And I do like the skirt. The skirt's floofy, and I can order the lining and get the lining on its way to me. I think I've got enough lining scraps in here. Right. I've got enough. In fact, I think what I would do actually is I would line the bodice of this with cotton lawn and then line the skirt with viscose, because I want the skirt to have the same amount of floof, but it would be nice for the bodice to have, because I lined my previous bodice with now what did I line it with? Did I line it with the same fabric? I think I might have done. Yeah, I'm gonna do this dress, this one here. So the midi length with the flutter sleeves and the circle in the back. So fabulous tan lines. Ask me how I know. And it's the same skirt as on this one. And I love this dress. Cannot wait for the buttons to arrive, because then my Cobra corsage is finished. And then, oh yeah, I forgot, this one's down here because I forgot to sew a button onto it. And then this one's down here because I need to rejig the placement of this button. It needs to go up by about 1/4 of an inch. So yeah, lots of buttons. So let me give you, I've got a picture of this. Let me give you a sneak peek of the buttons I found the other day when we went out shopping with Lorianne and Larry. Where are they? They're in here somewhere. Got so many buttons. Where are you? Come on, dragon buttons. I saw them and my inner magpie was just like, yes, you need those. I mean, the amount of buttons I have, I obviously don't need them because I cannot find them. Where are the buttons? This is supposedly really organized. There they are. Aren't they glorious? I have no idea what I'm going to use them for. But I saw them and I was just like, I can't leave those there. They need to come home with me. Right, sorry, I'm totally like flip-flopping all over the place today, aren't I? It's like concentration level 0. Let's see. Where did I get? Rotten Ralph says, go for it. Elena says, but you need 2 bolts of lining, 1 white and 1 black. Yeah. Natalie says, do it. Lollapalooza says, we could all chip in. Nimue says, you definitely needed those buttons. Yes. Rotten Ralph says, I inherited my button stash. Those are amazing. I inherited a whole bunch of buttons. Nana used to have the habit of like cutting buttons off of shirts and stuff if they went into the rag pile. So yeah, the buttons all got saved. So I ended up with this giant box of buttons that had no rhyme or reason to it. So I went through and sorted a whole bunch of them out. So there's some of them in there. Oh, I wonder if I can find. Now you've got me started. There's two buttons in here from my Nana's stash that are really precious, and I have no idea what to do with them. I've probably shown them to you guys before. I mean, look at those awesomeness, and look how cute they are. I don't know. I don't think I'd ever use them, but I just, you know, they're amazing. They weren't from my Nana's stash, but there are 2. These are what I'm waiting for from Prim, but the black ones, these ones, the white shows through. But I'm glad that I've got them in the white as well. Sorry, I am literally not able to concentrate on anything today, am I? Little yellow kitties. I think that's going to have to go on a cardigan or something. Actually, they probably ought to go into there. Where are these buttons? There's only 2 of them. Oh no, sorry, there are 3. Here we go. These are from my Nana's stash. And so there's a teeny tiny little black cat, 2 birdies, and an elephant. And I have no idea what to do with these. I mean, they're precious to me because Nana bought them, so these are old. And I want to do something with them, but what would you guys think of? What would you use them for? I think Rachel sent me these. These are gorgeous. Got lots of little empty baggies in here. I'm trying to sort this out a little bit. These were a gift from one of you guys. I think they're going to end up on a cardigan as well at some point. Oh, Mum's finished the heart and cardigan in that plum coloured wool, and it is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Right. So I've got all these little baggies that I get from like bag hardware, and I keep them all so that I can label them and put buttons into them, as I've done here. So the bags were getting out of control though, because there's quite a few empty ones. So the empty bags are now in an empty bag, so that'll be easier to find. when I come to add some more buttons to my stash, because we all know you can never have enough buttons. I mean, right? You can never have enough buttons. Let's see. Natalie says, ooh, mermaid buttons. Oh, I hadn't even thought about them being mermaid. To me, they were immediately dragon scale, but yeah, totally mermaid buttons. Laura says, I love the way Angela Clayton organises her buttons. Yes, yes, that is nice. That is nice. And I do have some empty file folders up there, possibly. Laura just says buttons. Rachel Lynn says, I know you've said it before, but where do you get your lining? And ooh, those buttons are fab. From the fabric room. That's where I get my buttons from. Natalie says, I inherited a box full of hideous plastic buttons, lol, barely anything in it that I'd use. Let me see. I saw, oh God, Leslie wants buttons as well. Leslie wants buttons. I meant to be sending her a bunch. Oh God, Leslie, I'm so sorry if you see this. Button, Christmas tree, ornaments. I saw these and I thought they were really clever. I mean, obviously, but for like the plastic buttons that you've got, I just thought they were really clever, and they could be quite fun little project to do at Christmas. And it doesn't necessarily have to be Christmas colours. I love this rainbow one. I think they're gorgeous. But I thought that was a clever use of buttons that you might never actually want to use on clothing. Rachel Lynn says, I've used the octopus buttons as decoration on a pair of overalls. I put them in the middle of the pocket. Yeah. I'm not sure what to do with those octopi, but I think they are pretty cool. Nimue says, I have a bunch of boxes with small compartments to sort my buttons by size and colour. They're stacked in a box and it makes finding the right ones quite easy. I like my system because I'm pretty good at remembering what went in there because I bought most of it myself. I do like Angela Clayton's system. I do think that that is a good system, and I do have a binder up there that is empty, so I could possibly do that. Because it would mean not having to like dig through the box knowing what I'm looking for. But yeah. Let's see. Lollapalooza says you need a jewelry organizer from IKEA for your buttons. Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking I might need to kind of get a better solution because trying to find anything in there is difficult. I know what it is. I know what I've got and I know that it's in there. It's just trying to like, it's always the last bag that you come across. Rotten Ralph says, I'd put them on a sweet white shirt. Yeah. Yeah, I'm wondering if maybe I did one that had like, if I did a shirt that had like a placket with just, you know, like the placket didn't go all the way down to the bottom, like a tunic. Could put them on that. Kashmir says, hello from Pula in Croatia. Hello, welcome. We are not heading to Pula this year. We are heading to Pula in 2023 now, September 2023. But I cannot wait. I so miss going on holiday and I love Pula. It was just one of my favourite places I've ever been. Renske says, don't forget to like the stream. Yes, 147 of us and 62 likes. Rotten Ralph says, my buttons are still in Tupperware from Grandma E and her neighbour. I got all the sewing stuff because I sew. Elena says, I would do some nice Kansanshi style hair accessory or some same style brooch and use those buttons as a centerpiece. Ooh, that's a good idea. Natalie says, those are cute buttons, but more of my ugly buttons have shanks. But most of my ugly buttons have shanks. I keep them. Oh, those are cute, but most of my ugly buttons have shanks. I keep them in case I want to do some old time covered buttons. That's a good plan. Yeah. Gin and Pin says, how about getting the buttons made into jewelry? I mean, the trouble is if they're kind of like ugly plastic buttons, then the likelihood of anyone wanting to wear them as jewelry is not high. But oh, you mean my buttons? I'm kind of leaning towards the like 3 little buttons on a tunic shirt kind of thing because they're so tiny, and I probably mostly wear it open. But I just like the idea of them being used rather than sitting in. The other thing I was thinking is, you can see I've got those two, one embroidery frame back there. I've got a whole bunch of pins as well, and I was thinking maybe next time I go to the Festival of Quilts, which we are going on the 18th of August, I was thinking maybe I get a big embroidery frame and stretch some fabric over it and then put my push pins on it, and then I could also embroider those buttons onto it. I don't know, maybe. Amani says hello from Washington DC. Hello, welcome. We were having this conversation the other day. So there's Washington State and Washington DC, opposite sides of the country. I think I've got the kind of general positions right. You don't know. I mean, in my head, I might be completely different on the map, but yeah. Elena says Kanzashi is the name of a Japanese fabric flower making. Oh, yeah, okay. I kind of like the idea of them on a tunic, you know. Now I've got to find a tunic pattern I like, but I do kind of like the idea of them on a tunic. You guys come up with the best ideas. This is so much fun. I'm going to bring you to all my cutting out sessions. Right, so I need to get my pattern out, don't I? Vogue 9328. Is that the right one? 9328? 9328. It is the right one. So I need the flounterie sleeves. And I'm not going to do the maxi skirt. I'm going to do the midi. So midi skirt, midi skirt, midi skirt, and midi skirt. Don't need the continuous lap or the sleeve. Don't need that cuff. I do need bodice front, bodice side front, bodice back with hole. Ooh, let's turn the iron on again so that we can start ironing these pattern pieces. Bodice side back. That's maxi skirt, maxi skirt, maxi skirt, maxi skirt. Sleeve E. That's the one I want. Oh, I did actually trace out the long flounterie sleeve as well. Wow. Sleeve F. That one. Because usually I don't like my flounterie sleeves. Oh, wow. That's a long boy. That's a proper long boy. You know what? I'm actually probably going to lengthen this another couple of inches and then just cut it with the I mean, the sleeves on this are already a little bit belled at the bottom, but this would be another case of those epic sleeves from the 9345. Flounterie sleeves. There we go. Okay. I am a very hyper today. I have no idea why. Hyper. Sorry, my phone's just got a million notifications on it. Let's get rid of those. Okay. What did I get to with the chat? Caroline says, I'm going through some tapestry kits that I have been given 3 kits and 1 canvas with pansies. No yarn, but has been started. So I need to decide whether to try and match the colours or unpick. Oh, a tapestry with pansies on it. Very pretty. Mum always used to have a tapestry on the go. It was a giant one with a peacock. I know she finished it. I wonder what happened to the actual finished piece. I see all those tapestry kits. There was one with dragons on it, and I was very tempted. Very, very tempted, but I have a feeling that it would end up in a cupboard just not being looked at. Lollapalooza says, I use the new look 6374 tunic and love it. I have 5 now, and it's a bit long and took 2 inches off of it. Let's have a look at that bad boy. Let's see. So, new look. Come on, new look. 6374. Images. Oh, yeah, Mum's got that one. Actually, Mum made it and hated it on herself. Why is there we go. I like it. I do like that one. That could be really cute in like a white viscose. If I could find a viscose twill, like a heavier weight viscose, like a white viscose with those 3 little buttons down the front, so that they're not like super obvious. But if anyone sort of like asked, it would be like, yeah, my Nana had those. I like that idea. Carolyn says, hey June, handmade tunics, so good. I think I have that one. I think Nia gave me that one. Nimue says the itch to stitch Galicia is loosish style, but has some shaping with darts at the waist. It has button back, and switching that to the front wouldn't be too bad. Buttons all the way down though. That's easy enough to work my way around. Caroline says, I have 2 with foxgloves, just the colours I want for the living room. So cushions for the armchairs I want. Ah, nice. Mim says, what about the McCall's 7325? Let's have a look. McCall's 7325. No, it's too much fabric in that for me. I like it, but I don't want to wear it tucked in. And there's a lot of fabric under the bust. So no, that one wouldn't be for me. Although I would consider making this one, making it longer and belting it and wearing it as a dress. Right, let me go and iron these flat, because I've got lots of bits to cut out here. I really like this dress. The 7-3, the 9-3-2-8 even, words are hard. I do really like this dress. So I am glad that I'm going to be making another one. And like I say, this will be the 3rd time I've used this skirt, because I used it for the original dress with that one there, and then this time. And I do like this skirt. I think it's a nice skirt because it is kind of skimming, but still has some floof, which makes my inner floof craver happy. Inner floof craver, have I just invented a personality trait? Now remember, when I made the last one, it came out a little big, and I have taken some out of it, and I've even made myself a note on the pattern. That was nice of me. Oh, I'm excited. This is going to be a pretty dress. This is going to be a very pretty dress. And I will, as I say, keep my eyes peeled for a rayon or viscose, whichever you prefer to call it, to make that 7945 dress from now. Is this directional? No, it is not directional. All the leaves, I mean, technically leaves go in all directions anyway. I mean, that's not really true, is it? Leaves do have a top that likes the sun for the photosynthesis. Yes. Else, let's see. Jim says Janet Clare has a work apron that she sews all sorts onto. You could put anything precious on one of your own. That's a really good idea. I don't know. I do like that idea. I know I don't ever wear those kinds of things. I mean, I suppose it could live on one of the mannequins, couldn't it? Ooh, I could make a super frilly apron. I could totally girlify it, make it super frilly. Do you know what? You know the reason I'm so hyper today? This doesn't hurt. I mean, It does, but it's not. I've had a whole week of orange and red days. I'm definitely on a green day today. That's what it is. I haven't put my bracelet on. I completely forgot, but that's what it is. Sorry, tangent. I could make one of my mannequins a super frilly apron that I could put things on, couldn't I? I like that idea. Although I do like the tunic idea as well. Sorry. Karen says, I've made the new look tunic a couple of times. Nice style for draping and structured fabrics. Sunny says, this stuff is more complicated than my MSC. Not at all. Not at all. Mum has one of those, an MSC. One of the many sets of letters after her name. Anessa says, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Oops, that wasn't supposed to be a question. I did wonder. I was like, oh, is it not morning where you are? Noelia says, how about the Cali shirt by Closet Core Patterns? That is a really good idea, but it's made me think. Hang on. Oh, I do like hanging out with you guys. This is awesome. Here we go. I really want to make these trousers. I love these trousers. And this kind of makes me think of the Cali shirt a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm trying to not buy new patterns, especially not super expensive patterns like the Cali shirt. And I totally agree that they should cost what they do. I don't, I'm not trying to say that they're too expensive because they're too expensive. They are expensive, but they should be expensive for the amount of work that goes into them. It's hard. Natalie says, lol, good morning, Anessa, question. Nimue says, what about the by hand London Marie? Very loose, but cut cute and retro. I love the pin tucks. Possibly. I like that. I do like that. Bree says, hello, peeps. Love the dress today. That colour green suits you wonderfully. Thank you. I am super surprised, actually. I have reorganised my wardrobes into colour order rather than, because it used to be in dress pattern. And it was just a hodgepodge of a mess. So now it is in colour order. And I am genuinely surprised that the green section is not larger. I am very surprised by how small the green section is. Although, once I have sewn up this and this, it's going to be a lot larger. Laurel says, ooh, nice to hear you're having a relatively painless day. I know, right? I think that's why I'm so hyper today. Bree says, has anyone made the Elodie dress by Closet Core? I like the look of that one. Ooh, me too. I haven't though, and I don't own it. It does have grown on sleeves. But again, that's just my thing that I'm not a fan of. Natalie says, I always feel euphoric when I don't have pain, so get used to feeling poorly. That when I don't, it's so amazing. I know, right? I think that's what's going on today. I can't work it out otherwise, because I promise I haven't taken anything. Although I did get my letter from the pain clinic directed to my doctors with a list of stuff they want me to try. I am so reluctant. Given the reactions I had to the drugs that they gave me last time around, I'm so reluctant. Mind you, after this week, I was just like, you know what, sod it. But I'm ringing the surgeon on Monday to see if I can get an appointment to see him again to talk about Botox again. Because whilst, again, that is a drug, it's not a drug that's going to alter my brain chemistry. And that's what I'm worried about with the ones that they want me to try. And all the research that I can find that I'm doing on Botox in the masseter muscle, I've probably said that wrong, for TMJ, the downsides are obviously the downsides of Botox if it goes wrong, but also the downsides are that it masks the problem. And if you're trying to diagnose the problem, then you don't want to mask it. But they can't diagnose the problem. They can't pinpoint what the problem is. They can't fix it. So I would rather have the Band-Aid. And as long as you, again, I've been doing my research, and the muscles atrophy because that's the point of Botox. But if you do it in a responsible way, rather than shoving as much in as possible, but doing it in at least from my research, it seems like it might be something that will work better for me than oral medication, because I really really struggled on the previous ones, badly struggled, and to the point where I wasn't able to function as a human. And I didn't give them very long. They want me to give them at least 4 to 8 weeks, and I think I gave them like 2 weeks last time. So I'm a bit, yeah, I don't know. But I'm going to book all my appointments. So I've got to go and see my doctor, and I've got to try and book in to see the surgeon again, because I really, really, really think that, I mean, the Botox might not work. It might not work for me. It, you know, but everything that I've read has just, people have said that it is amazing. So we shall see. Anyway, Anessa says, I haven't had enough caffeine yet this morning still, especially from my hyperness. Carolyn says, okay, new mannequin idea. Make your mannequin into a larger version of your beloved calendar girl. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I didn't buy her a new wardrobe this year, because by the time I've paid for the wardrobe and the shipping and the import fees, it was working out nearly £40, which for art is not expensive, but it is when I was on the budget that I am on currently. So I've actually dug out all the previous year's calendars, and because it's a Sunday through to Saturday calendar, which is not how my brain works at all. My brain is like Monday through to Sunday, but the calendar girl is Sunday through to Saturday. So I find that really difficult to get my head around anyway. So I'm just weekly, I've got 5 years of 5 years of outfits for her. So I just put them all on her stand, and then once a week I'm changing her outfit. So she's got 5 June outfits, 5 July outfits, and I'm loving it. And I'm still thinking that maybe next year I might pick out my favorites from them and make an outfit a year from my calendar girls, because there are some years that I love all the outfits because the art is beautiful, but there are some that I'm like, I would wear that. So I'm thinking I might try and do my calendar girl challenge next year. Sorry, tangent. Sal says, I made a new pair of trousers this week for my dream cosplay by merging 2 trousers into 1. Nice. Trousers are hard. Elena says, vintage style frilly aprons are so cute. Yep. Natalie says, Jessica Kellgren Fozzard gets Botox for her TMJ, but I believe she have to fight to get it prescribed also. Yeah, I have a feeling that that might be one of the reasons, is that it would be on the NHS. And yeah, I'm happy to pay for it myself if it works, but I want the NHS to I want to try it on the NHS first. So yeah, the pain clinic were very, the guy was just like, one of the things to bear in mind is if you try something and it makes you pain-free for a while and then the pain comes back, it can be devastating for your mental health, if, you know, having been pain-free and then for the pain to come back. And I'm like, yeah, but if it works, then I'm going to maintain it. So yeah, we'll see. Gay says, why is it that all the patterns on the market, we go to the same old ones? I suppose if it's the ones that suit us and make us feel super. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing as well. Like, you know, once you've taken the time, because they're expensive for me, so I trace all my patterns, and I promise, going to do a how and why I trace my patterns video as soon as this tabletop is finished. The line is on, so that's progress. It just now needs to be fixed into place, and then the edging put around it. We're going to do that at some point. But the idea of me with a nail gun terrifies me, because I in my head, it's a final destination moment. It's always like, what's the worst that's going to happen? My little brain is just like, no. So yeah, I don't think I can even be in the room if a nail gun's being used. I really power tools, just no. And I've no idea where that came from, because I used to do woodworking and craft with power tools, but I think it's maybe watching those kinds of movies and it's just like, nope. So yes, I'm going to be doing sorry, that was a massive tangent. It was going to be there will be a how and why I trace my patterns, but the reason I make multiples of patterns that I love is because I've gone to the trouble of, like for this one, for example, I've made 2 so far. There will be more. And I've gone to the trouble of, words are hard. I've gone to the trouble of tracing it out, making a muslin, getting it to fit me, and I love it. I'm wearing it. So I will make more. I still want to try new patterns. This 9328, I'm so glad that I tried it. It's going to become another one there's lots of in my wardrobe, but yeah. Let's see. Adele says, Sunday to Saturday splits the weekend. Who would want to do that? I know it doesn't make sense to me, but that's not because that's just because not how my week works. My week is Monday to Sunday. But apparently Dad's like, no. The week starts on a Sunday. It's like, eh? But it confuses me. Nimoy says you could do a calendar girl make 9. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. Carolyn says to Nimoy, yes, ma'am. Elena says to Adele, Americans use that style of calendar. Michelle says, hi, Sean. Have you received the package I sent you as yet? Not sure how long the snail mail takes. I haven't received it as yet. I will let you know as soon as I do. Anna says, can you practice with your power tools? I love power tools. Great fun. Nope. They scared me. Rotten Mouth says, taking care of your patterns and tracing them out and finding the ones that suit you if you can make them up in new fabric. Why do you need to do everything over again? Yeah. Right. So we're an hour and 37 minutes in. I have ironed some fabric. I've ironed a pattern. We've chatted a lot. Let's start pinning, shall we? Let's twist you around and down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So I don't think this print is directional, which is great, which means I can nest my skirt pieces, which I am doing. So just double checking. Now this dress also comes with pocket pieces, but I think we all know how I feel about pockets in viscose dresses. I am not a fan because I find that they can drag down the dress when you're wearing it, and I don't like how that looks. If I was making this in a cotton lawn, I would 100% put pockets in it, and I do have a tutorial for how to French seam your pockets into an inseam seam. Many uses of the word seam in that sentence. But because this is viscose and also quite a sheer viscose, I am not going to put pockets in this one. And I'm not against pockets in dresses. I mean, you know, 8577 giant pockets, love those. But I am against them in lightweight fabrics like this because, I mean, also this one, you know, it would be practically sheer as well, so don't want that. Getting my grain line lined up. I do get that question quite a lot. Why do I ignore the grain lines on things? I don't. I'm very careful with my grain lines, but I have gotten to the habit of doing it by eye. So now that I've pinned the top and the bottom, let's see if my grain line is actually straight. Completely straight. So I very rarely will take the tape measure out to check that, because I've just been doing this for so long that I have got quite a good eye for getting the grain line to be straight. If this was a slippery silk, or I mean, if this is a slippery silk, I'd be cutting this out in a very different manner. But you definitely want to make sure that your grain line is completely perpendicular, that's the right word, isn't it, with the selvage of your fabric. You also don't want to rely, when you're making sure that your fabric's on grain, you don't want to rely on the print. You want to make sure that the fabric smooths, like, so this folded edge is nice and folded. And you could see when I was doing it that I was smoothing things out. The print can sometimes be off grain. And if you're relying on your folded edge, the print repeat on the folded edge being perfect, you might not necessarily have your fabric on grain. Not very many prints will come off grain, but sometimes they can. So you don't want to rely on the print itself giving you an accurate representation of the grain line of what you're trying to cut out. Can I squeeze this one in here? No, that's okay. I can squeeze something else in here. This one can go in here. Okay, yes, very nice. In fact, that can go down way further. I was listening to a whole bunch of different music when I was filming all the 12s the other day, because it makes me happy, and I am usually going to be talking over the 12s, so it doesn't matter what's going on in the background. I will usually mute whatever's going on in the background anyway. But I decided I was going to have a Stranger Things dance party, and it was awesome. I had a lovely time. Great. Have you got any residue in here? A little bit. So this is the scrunchie pattern, and do you like a good scrunchie? So try and work out the best positioning for this. I think bow there is going to be best use of fabric, and that one can just get squished in another place. I do wear these scrunchies every now and again. I'll put them on with this hairpiece. I'll put them on first and put the hairpiece over, so you end up with just little sort of the little tails poking out the side. I think it's very cute. Catch up with the chat. Let's see. Carolyn says, your sewing machine is a power tool. That's true. It has yet to stab me, and I am dreading the day that that will happen. I hope it never does. I am, yeah, the amount of people that show me in or put up finger injuries in the Peeps group, and it's just like, no, one of my worst fears. Natalie says, I'm afraid of power tools as well. I know exactly how clumsy I am and should not be allowed near power tools. Yep, same. Rotten Ralph says, your iron is as well, Caroline. Ooh. I mean, my iron's so wimpy, I don't think that can count. Sal says, I cut belt loops. I cut belt loop holes for belts for the outer pants and fed the belt loops of the inner pants through the holes. Plus, I cut the pocket holes of the outer to have access to the inner pants pockets. Very clever. Carolyn says, agreed, Ralph. The key to power tools is self-confidence and focus. Natalie says to Sal, are they reversible? That's pretty cool. Ralph says to Carolyn, the same is true for sewing anything, self-confidence and focus. I think I've just watched too many movies and I have an overactive imagination. Gin and Pin says, I think if you love a pattern, multiple versions are obligatory, says she with 8 toaster sweaters and now 7 Roscoes. I think as well, like, for as much as the uniform might be the wrong term, but I do think that we find things that we feel happy wearing and then we wear multiples of them. And I've said this before, when I was buying clothes, I would buy multiples of something I found that I loved and that fit. It was the fit side of things was the beginning of it was just like nothing fits. So when I did find something that actually kind of looked pretty decent, it was just like, now that I'm sewing multiples of the same thing over and over again, when I know I enjoy wearing the thing, it just seems sensible. So yeah. Carolyn says laughing at Gin and Pin, saying so true. Ralph says to Gin and Pin's indubitably. Carolyn says to Ralph, so true. Sal says to Natalie, unfortunately not. The outer is satin, so there's only a shiny side is outwards. Natalie says to Sal, oh, sorry, misunderstood. Still sounds very cool. Ralph says, I have a strong desire to attend a silent disco or a Zoom dance and don't people very much. Zoom dance, I don't people very much or very well anymore. No, yeah, far too people out there. Claire says, which scrunchie pattern do you use, Sian? Please, could you put a note below? It is from Threads Monthly, and whenever I mention it or make a scrunchie in one of the videos, I always link to it. But if you Google Threads Monthly scrunchie, it will come up with a pattern for you. Sal says, I can share pics on the Peeps Facebook group so you can see what I did. Sure. Ralph says, please do, Sal. And Rachel says, tell me about it. I've just made my gazillionth pair of ultimate trousers. Nice. Yeah, I think there is absolutely nothing wrong with identifying what you enjoy wearing and then make a million of them. I mean, like 7, 8, 5, 7, 7s and counting. There will be more. I absolutely love that pattern. It is 100% in my top 10. As is the Eve. What else? What other top 10 patterns have I got? What are the top 10 patterns? 8577, the Eve. What would you guys say was another one of my patterns that I make all the time? Oh, the 6563 t-shirt, which I'm kind of hoping I'm going to have enough left of this fabric to make one. The Anna, obviously, completely. How did I mess up that one? Of course, the Anna dress. What else? 9345. I did make a ton of the McCall's 6696. Is that the right way round for those numbers for the shirt dress? And I do really like that one. But I do think the 9345 has taken over as one of my very favourite shirt dresses. Oh, I'm going to sneeze, excuse me. Wow, sneezed. Rachel says, to be fair, it really isn't. They're boring for work, but on the plus side, at least I can whip some up rather than going out to buy some. Yeah. Oh, Rachel saying the Anna, the Gable. Yes. Anessa says the Gable top. Yes, of course. Joe says you like the Sorrento jacket. I have 3 of those now. Noelio says I was going to say the Gable top too. Claire says the Hunter tank. Yeah. Rachel says the Grace dress. Absolutely. Although all the Grace dresses I made last year are too big for me now. I tried one on the other day and it's really, really too big for me. To the point where I'm thinking, do I take the bodice off, buy some more of the Bright Side of Life lemon print fabric and make the smaller bodice, and then keep the bigger bodice in case I put weight on again, which I'm really hoping I don't do, but just in case. Or do I just buy some more of the fabric and make the dress from scratch and keep that one under the bed for one, you know, the one that, for just in case I do put weight on again. But then I said I really don't want to put weight on again. But then if I do start taking the medications that they've recommended, one of the side effects of every single one of them is weight gain. So yeah, I'm having one of those I don't know moments. But yes, the Grace dress is definitely a favourite. Definitely a favourite. Sal says the hilarious thing about it is that the satin pants are female pants and both have their own zipper. Thus, one zipper zips up one way and the other way. Lol. Oh, given that. Oh, yes. Yeah. Fun times. Amy says, was shouting Anna at the screen and then you said Anna. Yeah, how did I forget that? Like, I mean, 40 of them. I think I've done 40 of them. Noelia says, I love seeing you cutting live. It makes me feel better that you can't actually cut as fast as you do in your sped up videos. Oh my gosh, I wish. God, can you imagine how much stuff I'd get done if I could cut out that fast? No, this really doesn't fit in here, does it? Oh, it does if I squeeze. Okay. No, because it's got the fluffy selvages on it. That's okay. We will. There it is. Where are my scissors? They're blending into the grayscale. Okay. So let's get the rest of. It's always fun cutting out with you guys. Like I always worry that it's not going to be that much fun for you guys to watch as opposed to sewing. But it's nice having company whilst I do it. I do enjoy that. Right. Oh, just need to pull this piece up closer to me. go. Right, now I need to put in all my notches. I'm really excited about this dress. I think it's going to look really pretty. This was a good plan. Good plan indeed. I've got, I cut out my, oh, I don't think I told you, the French terry, the leafy French terry that I had a couple of different scales of the print. I have decided to do a deer and doe Sirocco and a Sheridan. I was going to just do some trousers from the bit that I had more of, but the trousers that I really want to do, I cannot fit on. And I was wearing my Sirocco the other day, and I love it. It's a really, really nice jumpsuit. So yes, I've cut out those, although you'll be seeing I'm just giving away all of Tuesday's waffle. You'll be seeing it on Tuesday. Right, let's get the rest of this bodice piece cut out, and then I need to remember that we need to cut out lining for this as well, because technically this dress, according to the pattern, is unlined, which I think is crazy. And as I said, I'm going to line this in cotton lawn because it will give it some nice structure, because it is a fitted bodice. If it was a looser bodice, like this one, for example, I would be lining it with viscose. But this one, as I say, is a fitted bodice, so I want it to be to have some structure. So cutting it, whilst this is cut out of viscose, the cotton lawn lining will just give it that little bit more structure. How many times can I say the same thing over and over again? Sorry. Okay. So I need to cut this piece out of the lining. This bit can go onto the pile. Right. So let's get a bit more of the fabric out. Make sure everything is still on grain, and cut out some more skirt and bodice pieces. And the giant sleeves. One of the questions I get asked lots about viscose is like, you know, doesn't it crease? Isn't it annoying that it creases? And it's like, well, yeah, but it's also just so nice to wear. And I don't mind the creasing. Like, it's a nice fabric to wear. And it is man-made, but it's man-made from natural fibers. So I like it. I like it. And I'm willing to put up with the creasing for not wearing a sauna suit, because polyester, some beautiful prints on polyester, but oh my goodness, I just get so hot in them, which is why I make my winter scuba dresses out of it. But summer dresses, no. Let's see, where did I get to? Gin and Pin says, I'm really excited. A load of us are going to Martin Kemp's Ultimate 80s Disco in November. I'm going to be channeling Bananarama. Amazing. Carolyn says, bless you, Sean. Joe says to Noelia, I can never understand how they make clothes in time given in the sewing bee. I would need that whole time for cutting out. I know, right? And Noelia says to Joe, feel the same. I would still be cutting by the time they're supposed to have them finished. Ralph says, I just put in a request to join the Peeps group. Don't do much on Facebook, but I'm interested in seeing your photos. Let's see. Did you answer the questions? I won't give out your, like, I don't know which one's you, but somebody's answered. Her Royal Majesty Anya, Hero of Captown, Jane, and our newest friend Eliza of the house. Little bits. Yeah, I've got 4 people. I've got 4 people that are waiting for approval, but none of them have answered the questions. Oh, you did answer the questions. That was you. So that was awesome. You have been approved. You have been approved. Let's see. Adele says, I'm just loving the company. I'm doing some ep while I care for my terminally ill dad. So company is wonderful. I'm so sorry about your father, and thank you for joining us, Adele. And I'm glad that we can keep you company with the very silly waffle. Ralph says the sewing bee is clearly not playing in the same time stream as the rest of the reality. It's just not possible. Agreed. Nimue says to Joe, same. I've learned to completely ignore time limits so I can enjoy the program. I couldn't even tell you how long any challenge lasted last week beyond the alteration challenge. Yep. Eleanor says, but we know how much ineffective sewing is during Hangouts. This time you are making huge progress with everything. Well, Christine says, creative editing for the bee. Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I do think that the time limits that they give them, though, are silly. I think that they should give them slightly longer, and I think that they wouldn't have such rushed garments at the end. And I'd rather critique someone on their skill than their time, like their speed. If that makes sense. Monica says, I love watching you cut while I sew. It's very soothing to hear the scissors. I love the sound of scissors cutting fabric. Sal says, it's almost 11 p.m. here, and I was out for 10 hours seeing my kids today and been up since 6 a.m. I'll take photos tomorrow. Awesome. Mary Ellen says, late to the show today. Which dress pattern are you wearing today? I love the print. Also, what size is your cutting table? I am wearing the Deer and Doe Magnolia, and it's in a viscose that was sent to me by the lovely Alexandra from Spotlight in Australia. And I have made 2 of this dress with it because, of course, I have. And it's still available, I believe, this print. It is still available on the Spotlight website if you would like some. And my table is 152 by 152 centimeters square. And I love it. It's definitely a behemoth. It takes up a lot of room in here. But it's just fabulous. I absolutely love it. And there's so much storage underneath of it as well. Joe says, I was reading the blog this morning from someone who made the quilted jacket on the bee. It took 10 hours. Yeah. Ralph says, I wear linen every day, so I'm okay with creasing. Yeah. Gin and Pin says, I don't think I've seen much transfer of pattern markings on the sewing bee, and that takes me ages as well. Yeah. Yep. Mim says, the Vogue 9328 is my absolute favourite dress. Made 4 of them, but I'm in a miniskirt version. I love it. Ooh, nice. Ralph says those are your answers. You have been approved. You have been approved. Julian Pin says, have to go now. Have a great weekend, everyone. You too. Lollapalooza says, favourite ASMR scissor cutting fabric. Nice. Anna says, Teenage Earthling and I are going to Rammstein in a couple of weeks. We are supposed to go to a 3-day concert with Sabaton a couple of months ago, but it was rescheduled for next year due to the world situation. Grr. Oh, but Rammstein's going to be amazing. Very cool. Du Hast is one of my favourite songs to put on in the car as loud as possible with all the windows down. Sal says, by the way, I wanted to wear the satin pants, but didn't want to because of the lack of belt options and no pockets. So my modification means that I can start wearing them whenever I want now. Awesome. Right, let's get some more bits cut out. These are some epic sleeves. Right, so let's make sure that everything is nicely still on grain, which it is. So now I can pin. It's really nice having the lino on the table as opposed to just the paper that I had covering it before. The paper worked really well, but the trouble was it was very easy to pin into the paper when you were doing this stage of things. So there was a lot of times I pinned something down. It was like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. I think it's amazing that the entirety of the band members of Rammstein are all pyrotechnic engineers because of the stage shows they put on. They all had to get certified because otherwise countries were just like, nah, you can't do that, because their stage shows are just amazing. My favourite is still their Paris Du Hast one. I just think it's absolutely amazing. And the fact that they've got the entire audience, French-speaking audience, singing along in perfect time in German is brilliant. I kind of know what the words are because I've looked them up, the translation, but my pronunciation of them is terrible. I'm never going to say any of them in front of Nimue ever. I can do ja and nein, but that's about it. That is about it. But yes, I will frequently have them turned up to full volume in the car and come home and Dad will just be like, is that loud enough? I'm like, no, it is not. I would like it louder. Because there's very few places that I can play my music as loud as I would like now without annoying the neighbours or mum and dad. Okay. Right. Oh, I need to put this into place as well. It's going to be a very epic sleeve. I do love a good flutter sleeve. Now I'm thinking, and hopefully I'm going to have enough fabric to try and cut a top out of this. And I was thinking that I was going to do the 6563 t-shirt, but I might try the Vogue 9006, I think I have that number right, sleeveless one, because it's a cow neck tee, well, cow neck top, which we all know I love, like the 6563, but I haven't tried it yet. And I'm going to have a garment out of this fabric that I know I love, so it might be worth, if there is enough of it, trying that other top pattern. See what I think about that one. I haven't worn my teal Cobra Corsage one as yet. I have a feeling that I might want to get some more teal Cobra Corsage and actually make a skirt out of it as well, because I have the dress and I have a top. I have two tops. I have the Anna top and then the cowl neck top, which I very much like, but I haven't worn as yet because I haven't really got anything to wear it with. It's a bit more fancy than the 6563 t-shirt. Definitely more fancy than the 6563 t-shirt. I'm not very good at putting separate outfits together. I think that's my issue. Like with a dress, you've got one thing to think about. You put it on and you're done. But with separates, like you have to coordinate stuff and things like that. And I'm not overly great at that. Anna says, yep, right there with you on that track. Christine says, yes, love that track. Yeah. If you've not watched the YouTube video of that being performed in Paris, then do. Caroline says, Mark loves Sabaton. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I haven't heard of them. The research into the subjects of their songs is so good. Oh, cool. Jennifer says, hello, Peeps. Hello, gorgeous Peeps, sorry. Hello, Jennifer. Sal says, I love Rammstein. Even though I'm not German, I can sing a lot of their songs fluently. So jealous that you're seeing them. Love their new album. Terry says, Nightwall must go early start tomorrow. Start of stock take week at work. Oh, stock take at work. Good night, Terry. Thank you for joining us. Anna says to Caroline, do you watch There's an Indie History channels? Shan, yep, loud is good. Yes. Nimori says, don't worry about your pronunciation. It's not at all. It's not bad at all. And Germans will claim you speak English and you barely recognize it as your language. Yeah. Anna says to Sal, I saw them in concert before. Yeah, their new album is cool. Zeit, and the video for it is awesome. Ralph says, I have just answered someone else's question on the group page. Happy to be included. Awesome. Thank you for joining. Martina says, hello, everyone. What are you cutting out? I am cutting out the Vogue 9328 after much debate. Elena says, which pattern from your Make 9 challenge are you doing next? The Patreon peeps are voting for that. It's going to be one of these. In whichever order the Patreon peeps put these in on the vote is the order that I'm going to do them on. So those ones. Caroline says to Anna, definitely, and between us we have studied some of the periods before we even knew about them. Mark is military historian, whilst my exams were in the Renaissance and onwards. Really cool. Sal says someone should buy Shan a Rammstein fabric print to make a dress out of. Jennifer says, I am still waking up. My cats decided I needed to be up early. Oh my goodness, Chiana. I took Chiana out for a walk yesterday in the garden because I'd opened the window and she was just immediately like, ooh, that looks exciting. So I left her lead out and she's now sitting next to her lead and just yowling at me when she wants to go out. But it's like she goes to sleep. She has a little nap for like an hour and then she'll be up and she'll be like, right, I want to go out again now. And it's like, darling, I'm trying to edit. That's why the video was an hour late yesterday. And then this morning, when the sun came up, she was like, right, walk time. It's like, no. And she was just yowling at the door. It's like, oh, baby, please, no. You're going to wake everyone up. I'm going to end up with the dog up here sniffing at the door and they're just going to be fighting. It's just going to be bad. Let's see. Anna says to Caroline, awesome. Elena says, Sabaton are awesome. It's like cool history lessons. Very cool. Anna says to Jennifer, haha, I know that one. Jennifer says to Anna, it's my last day of vacation too. Oh no. Caroline says to Elena, they totally are. And Anna says, Sean, can you show the pattern with the what looked like a sailor? Can you show the pattern with the what looked like a sailor front, please? Is it one that I've shown today? I'm not sure which one that is. And then it says to Caroline, they are the best background for cutting and cleaning. Bree says, deer and doe pattern. Oh, yes, I think it's the release. Yes, well done, thank you. Well done, well done, well done. This one. The Réglisse, the licorice dress. Is that the one, Anna? It's very cute. But yes, these are up for a vote on Patreon, although that's not coming out for 2 weeks because the next Patreon update is the one take waffle, which this time I hope you guys who are part of the Patreon peeps enjoy this, but it's like a dating disaster story. And when I started Kittenish Behaviour, October 2010, it was kind of like my dating disaster stories and the sort of things that I've been getting up to living in London. And after this last one, I thought it was I mean, at the time I was kind of a bit like, oh god, do I want to try and start and do this all again? But I like having a partner and I want to have a partner for doing things with and, you know, like going to events with. And I was really hoping that I would have a date for the dressmaker's ball the next time that it came up, but that's not going to happen because I'm not willing to buy a ticket on the off chance that I will have a date by then. Because that's just asking for me to be single for the rest of my life. But I kind of when I started the blog, it was all about my life in London and the sort of things that I got up to as a single girl living in London. And part of that was dating disaster stories because there were a lot of them. And so the one take waffle this month is the latest dating disaster story. So that video is coming out on Wednesday. And then next Wednesday is when the vote is going up. And as I say, whichever order the Patreon peeps vote for the deer and doe dresses in, so there's going to be a first, second, and third place, I will make the dresses in that order. That is the plan. So Patreon peeps have all of the power over Make 9. It'll be fine. Yeah. But you'll have to, the Patreon peeps, once you've watched Wednesday's video, you'll have to let me know if you want more of those or if you'd rather I 100% stick to sewing, because like the whole kind of point of the one take waffles is kind of like a behind the scenes, what's going on with me, what I've been up to, what I've been doing kind of thing. So yeah, you'll have that to look forward to on Wednesday, and you'll have to let me know what you think about it and if you enjoyed it and if you would like to see more of those, because I enjoyed it. And I've got to the point now where it's like, at the time I didn't really enjoy the experience, but like looking back on it, it is kind of funny because you have to laugh about these things, otherwise you'll cry. Oop, I'm cutting out one layer there. That's not what we want. We want 2 sleeves, please. There we go. 2 sleeves. So yeah, you'll have to let me know what you think, Patreon peeps. once you have watched Wednesday's video. But I am trying to stick to a schedule with Patreon. So there'll be a new post every Wednesday, and the first post of the month will be the results of the previous month's vote. Then we'll have the one take waffle. Then we will have the I'm just going to move this over here for now. Then we will have the vote for that month. And then the last one of the month is hopefully going to be early access to the making of the winning vote. That's the idea. So the last video this month on Patreon will be early access to making the Rixo drafts with the French poetry loom pattern. And you guys will have to let me know what you think about that schedule, because I think that's something I can stick to. I think it's not too much, but it's posting enough. It is, you know, dedicated content for 3 of them with votes and stuff. But then the early access to the vote or to the project that you guys have voted for, I thought was a nice way to round out the month. You will have to let me know what you think, though. Because, as I say, I'm quite pleased with the schedule. I think it's something I can stick to and actually get out on time. And it's not too ambitious, but it's ambitious enough. So, yeah. And the only thing that's tier restricted for that is the vote. The vote is for the $5 and up tier, but everything else, like the videos and stuff, are available for if the $1 or $2 tier. So you don't have to. It's not restricted to like you have to be spending loads of money on it. Like just the $1 tier gets you access to nearly everything. Voting privileges is the $5 and up tier. So just transferring over my markings now. Cut in my notches carefully. So that's a giant sleeve. Okay. Let's bring this a little closer so I can finish cutting. Because I know lots of people say that you should cut with the pattern piece on the right side of your scissors, and that I'm cutting out the wrong way here. But I find it much easier to get close to the edge of my pattern piece if I cut out this way, which is why I do it. But again, like whatever works for you. Like this won't be too bad because it's quite a small line of cutting, but I find this really much more difficult cutting with the pattern piece on the right-hand side of my scissors. Sorry, left-hand side of my scissors. I find that way more difficult. How about you guys? Does it look like I'm cutting backwards to you guys, or is this how you cut out as well? Let's just get this skirt piece done, and then I shall catch up with the chat. Put in my notches. And put this to the side. Then we've got a little bit more of the bodice to cut out, and then we need to cut out the lining for the bodice. And then, ow, try not to stab myself with too many pins. Oh gosh, I was cutting out the t-shirts the other day, and I stabbed myself with the pin, and then proceeded to get it. literal blood, sweat and tears went into this one. Right. Got some bodice pieces to do. And chat as well. Let's see. Chat. Where did we get to? Where did we get to? Caroline says, Elena, all for spreadsheets, yay for homeworking. Jane says, just finished the test garment of wardrobe by me canvas jacket. Took me ages, so much top stitching. Need to make more room for my big shoulders before cutting into my special fabric. How lovely that you got it done though. Anna says, the three deer and doe patterns you just quickly held up. I thought one had a tie front, kind of looks similar to a sailor style. Thank you. You are correct, Anna. It's definitely the licorice one. Elena says to Caroline, I feel you. They make the most annoying things bearable. Caroline is laughing at Elena as well. Jennifer says, I love dating disaster stories. I have a few from college. I have so many. Anna says, you're someone special that is out there. He just has not found you yet. Fingers crossed that is true. Anessa says, I cut out MC Hammer pants to tie-dye for my niece with tie-dye tank top and black mesh tie shirt for our 80s day at school. I've also just cut my son and I jeans and shorts to dye. Lol. Nice. Laurel says, when I was single on the Houston, Texas dating scene, my friend told me that my dating disaster stories were so entertaining that I was forbidden to find an actual boyfriend. Yeah, I used to get so many people say that I should write a book and put them all into a book, and that was the whole reason they were following my blog. Monica says, oh my, I will make a nice large cup of tea and enjoy your waffle for sure. Wish it was in person. Anna says to Anessa, sounds great fun. Althea says, hi from the US. Have you shared where you got this fabric from? It's pretty and I'd like to make a romper out of it. I'm really sorry. I got it from Textile Centre many years ago and it's definitely sold out. And it's the Textile Centre tend to have like end of bolt kind of things that high street stores have used. So it's not like there's a name and I can tell you where it came from otherwise. Sorry. Anessa says, thank you, Anna. We do love a good tie-dye in this house. Christine says, no, I cut like you, Shan. Ah, good, not just me. Carol's here. Good morning from New York City. Good morning. Anna says to Anessa, I need to get back into tie-dyeing again. It always amazes me the print design that forms. Yes, there's some of them so beautiful. Carol says, pattern to the left here too. That's good. Jennifer says, please remember to like the stream. Oh, yes, it's 147 of us and 90 likes. Anessa says, Anna, I can even do peace signs and everything now. Oh, very cool. And Anna says to Anessa, awesome. Lollapalooza says, this fabric as a cowl neck top with your black skirt. Yeah. And I'm hoping to make some black trousers as well. Monica says, I cut out better with the pattern to the right, closer cut. Yeah, same. Nimue says, I right-handed cut with the pattern to piece to the left of my scissors or rotary cutter to get a decent line of sight. Other way means leaning over, angling my wrist and even more pain. No thanks. Oof, yes. And Alethea, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name incorrectly, says that's okay. The Textile Centre is definitely one to keep an eye on if they bring their website back, which I really hope they will do, because I miss it. Although my bank balance probably doesn't. Right, we've got a little bit more bodice to cut out. then we'll have to see how much fabric I've got left and which top I can get out of what I've got left. Should be a fairly decent chunk. Right, so one of the things I want to change is I want to cut this on the centre front on the fold, not with a seam line down it, because it really doesn't need it. I am going to leave the pattern, so I've just drawn in the seam allowance, so I'm going to use this as my fold line. I'm going to leave the seam allowance in case I ever decide to make this from a stripe or something similar. But yeah, I don't want the words are hard. Ah dear. I don't want this one to have like a seam down the center front like my navy one does. The navy one, I haven't managed to find any Hug Snug in navy to buy to put over the seams, and it's getting to the point where I'm not sure it bugs me enough that I'm going to do it. But I'm still on the hunt for some Hug Snug, so if I find some, I won't rule out buying it for that purpose. On the wrong shelf. So I don't want that one, that one, that one. Right, I need to get the pattern out to have a look at the pattern. It's down here somewhere. Now, yeah, I'm going to want to do view A. That's the other thing I'm hoping to cut out of this fabric, view A. I've made this one, which I really like, in the teal Cobra Corsage, but I do think I want to try and do this one out of this fabric. So, view A. View A. View A. Is that just a bit off? I think I trimmed down. Yeah, I need to take some fabric length out of this bit. trimmed all the other pieces, but not that one. That was silly. Right. So how much did I trim off of these pieces? Thank goodness I kept it so I could see. Oh no, apparently I did trim. Did I? It doesn't look like I did. Oh no, I did. Yep, no, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Okay, so the reason I've got this out now is because there are pieces, there's like a piece of fabric here that might be big enough to get this on if I am smart about how this all gets cut out. Yep. Okay, that's all going to work. So let's say this version here. Let's see, what did I get to with the chat? What did I get to with the chat? Oh, Monique's here. Oh my gosh, I am up in time for the live feed. Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. We are cutting out many things, or attempting to cut out many things. I think this dress is going to look really pretty. Very glad that I went for this option. And I should have like enough for a top as well, because there's quite a lot of fabric left there. This makes me happy. And I would like to try and find some black linen to make those Mimi G trousers that I showed you guys earlier. I have got some green linen, which is going to get made into them. But I think some black linen would look really nice as well. And this top with those trousers will look awesome. I think. At least in my head it will. Let's see. Getting this all cut out. Okay. I do really like the back of this dress with the circle in it. I think it's really nice. Like I said, I've had dresses in the past from Trashy Diva that had a square cut out in the back, and I ended up with comedy tan lines. So it is something that you need to be aware of if you just decide to go for a dress with a giant circle cut out at the back. Put suntan lotion on so you don't get comedy giant brown circles on your back. But as long as you think of that, you're fine. Okay, just get this piece in. I do enjoy a cowl neck top, so I do hope this one comes out nicely. It should do. Can't see any reason why it wouldn't. Okie dokie. Let's get this little lock cut out. Oh, apparently this top is good for all body types. Finish garment measurement, width of lower edge, back from length of base of neck. Not helpful, peeps, but hopefully next year. It's what I've been told, but who knows if that will actually happen. Fingers crossed it does. Because it needs to change. Right, let's get this cut out. Got to do the lining next. As well. Yeah, they want you to, with this circle in the back of this dress, they want you to finish the edge with bias binding and get it to lie flat, which, I mean, it is doable, but it's just so fiddly. And they want you to do the same for the front edge, the front V neckline as well. Finish it with bias binding and turn it under and stitch it down. And again, totally doable. Just, I would rather line it because, you know, you can clip your curve, clip the notches, or clip notches into the circle of the back, you know, the back opening to get that all to lie nice and flatly without having to, I mean, and again, that's what you do with bias binding, you know, sew it on, clip your curves, press, you know, it's totally doable. I'm not saying it's not, it's just, I much prefer the finish I get from fully lining something because it's pretty. It's definitely pretty. Yeah, I think this, I mean, this is going to look nice with the khaki green linen trousers that I want to make. But I think it's also going to look really nice with black linen trousers as well, especially with some wooden buttons on them. very much like the Mimi G ones. And I'm kind of hopeful that I can get those Mimi G ones to fit me the way that I want them to, because they are wide legged, so I haven't got to worry about too much fitting over the hips and stuff. We shall see. I'm going to give them a try. I'm going to give them a try. Do or do not. There is no try. Okay. Right. Very carefully move this around. Oh, come on. Now he wants to do the one layer. I want 2 layers. Oh, lucky. So flatly. Here we go, that's better. Right, now I just need to cut out the cutout for the back piece. Again, very carefully moving it around. Neighbour's dog's having a hissy fit. Okay, so notches. That's my notches done. Done. Now put this on my pile of things that need to be cut out of lining. I have to put my piles of things that need to be done in different places so that I don't forget to do them, because that's happened before. It's either a bird or a squirrel running across the roof of the shed. Hopefully it's a squirrel. Haven't seen the squirrel since my birthday weekend. I'm sure he's been back because the bird fooders are always empty. Oh dear. Oh dear. Angela says, hi everyone, do you know Lady McElroy has 20% off this weekend? I have just completed my order. Lots of new, I think, Cobra Corsage colours. The cobalt is right up my street. Mum's got some of the cobalt up there. I'm not stolen it. I think that's very, very virtuous of me, to be honest. Yes, I finally used my voucher from Charlotte. Charlotte gave me a £100 gift voucher for my birthday this year, which was incredibly kind of you, Charlotte, if you're still here. And I have finally used it. I was waiting for them to do a remnant sale because I was hoping they were going to do like 30% off remnants, because all the prints I want were available in the lengths I wanted as remnants. But then they did this 20% sale at the beginning of the week, so I took advantage of it then, and they are carrying it on for this weekend, which is awesome. And the Love Lady McElroy competition as well. You can win £150 of Lady McElroy fabric. It's open worldwide. This is not sponsored. They've not paid me to talk about this. But it's a really good competition. So you can win £150 worth of Lady McElroy fabric, and you have to just put up a make that you've done from Lady McElroy fabrics with the hashtag Lady McElroy, Love Lady McElroy, and to be in with a chance of winning. And you can enter 3 times, and it's going to be drawn on the end of July. I do sound like a salesperson, don't I? They haven't paid me for this. This is all my own waffle. Just marking in my darts. But yes, 20% off this weekend. I have already succumbed because, as I say, the very lovely Charlotte gave me a £100 gift voucher for Lady McElroy. And I had done a survey as well that I got paid for. So I had £142 to spend, and I actually ended up only spending 113, including postage. So the rest of that prepaid credit card that I got from my survey, I used for the buttons the black shell buttons and the coconut shell buttons, which I think I will show you in the waffle on Tuesday. Okay, so my darts are marked in. So I'm going to put that over with the rest of the pile really carefully because I do not want to stretch anything out. So I'm trying to handle this as little as possible because I really don't want to stretch out the neckline. So I need to cut out the lining pieces. But I'm going to cut out the rest of the 9066 top whilst I have the fabric out, because that makes sense. And I'm actually kind of surprised. This is cut on the straight grain. There's no bias in this top, so I'm kind of hoping this fits because my bias one fits me really nicely. But I do think it being cut on the bias is helping me get it on and off over my boobs. So we'll see with this one if it fits or not. If it doesn't, then I'm making a really nice top for somebody else, which is nice of me, isn't it? Right. So the odd pattern piece, but it's got the grown-on facing and the back neck facing as well. So that can go there. And that can go there. Will these two fit in here? Oh, am I going to end up with loads of fabric left over? It fits in there, and that one fits in there. And I'm going to have, oh, good sort of, oh, I might be able to get a by hand London and a top as well. And you know what? I'm going to. Let's see. Brie says, don't tell Sian that, Angela. We'll end up with another 100 videos of Cobra Corsage. I'm still waiting on the Rose collection. Don't worry, the Rose collection's coming next. Now, I'm done with Cobra Corsage for a while. I did say I would like some more of the Chantilly colour, the cream colour in the viscose and the viscose jersey, because I want to make 2 more dresses with it, but then I will be done. I will be done. Julian's here. Hello, everyone. Hi, Julian. I love the shirt you made the other day. That was very nice. Jennifer says hi to Julian. Monique says, I'm going to finish cutting out masses too. Then I'll look at the stash for a coordinating fabric to go with the Cobra so I can do the colour blocking for the Vogue 1645 jumpsuit that we discussed on Facebook. Oh yeah, the two-tone one. That's going to look really nice. Jennifer says, I'm almost forgot I have a nail appointment at 11 a.m. today, but quite a bit of time before that starts. Very nice though. Oh, where did we get to? Ralph says, I'm sorry, I just info dumped in the comments on the Peeps page. Sorry, this is why I don't talk to people but who knows what to wish for. I'm suddenly covered in cats. The joys of black and white print, every colour can work with. Yes. Flowers here, haven't seen you for ages. Put pockets in all of my dresses and skirts, even if the garment is lightweight like round viscose, as I need pockets in my garments. I sew the top of the pocket bag to the dress or the skirt to minimise the pocket dragging down the garment. Oh yeah, same. You definitely, if pockets and sewn into the waistband to keep it all up, either with the waistband done or like with tape, like Mariah Patty does. I am not a fan of them in lightweight fabrics, but that's the beauty of sewing. We can all do what we want to, can't we? Charlotte C says, which Mimi G trousers? These ones. Simplicity 8889. I think they're very, very nice. Hopefully you can see that. That's the back view. I probably won't put on the side pockets. These little patch pockets here, I probably won't put those on, but I do love everything else about these trousers. So they're the ones that I would like to do out of linen. Sal says, this has turned into Scissors ASMR video. Is it sending you to sleep? Debbie says, hi all, sorry I'm late. I had a Grand Prix to watch. Hope everyone is well. Very well, thank you, Debbie. You do maybe keep your eyes open on Wednesday for Wednesday's Patreon video. There's a little shout out for you. It's you'll have to let me know if you know where the term has come from. Monique says, flower, I put pockets in everything too. Keeps me from fidgeting while standing. I also almost always put a collar, stand and collar on everything too. Ladera, hello everyone, happy Sunday. Hello, welcome. Sorry if I got your name wrong. Carolyn says, pterodactyl pigeons is on the roof. Quite possibly. I haven't seen those for a while actually. It might be up there terrorising me. Charlotte is still here. Angela says it's 20% off remnants too. Yes, and I took advantage of it. Ralph says, flower, have you ever tried to anchor your pockets with twill tape to your waistband? It's definitely a great way of keeping your pockets from dragging down the dress at the seams. Yep. Flower says, I put a collar on a jacket. The pattern was from the 1970s pattern I bought from a deceased estate sale. There was no instructions in the pattern. I bought the pattern because it's cute. Ah, nice. Monique says, do we need a code for the 20% off or does it magically happen at checkout? No, you do need a code. Let's get the code for you. It's not on here. Is it on Lady McElroy? Enjoy 20. That should work for Sherwood's and Lady McElroy directly. Kathy says, we know how much you love Lady McElroy fabric. Yes, I have issues. Flower says, sewing the jacket collar onto the jacket was very time consuming, so I no longer buy patterns that do not have how to sew, that I do not know how to sew, that do not have instructions. Definitely fair enough. Nimoy says, I've only sewn up Lady McElroy for my mum, but I have 5 fabrics to use for myself in my stash. I might see if I can squeeze one in over the next weeks. Oh, yes, definitely. Charlotte says, I have that Mimi G one in the stash. Wouldn't put the side pockets on either. Mary says, hi, Sean. So glad I made the live feed. Hi, Mary. I haven't seen you for ages either. How are you? Carolyn says, is shipping to the US expensive from Lady McElroy, asking for a friend. I think it's around £22 to £25, which is expensive, but it is the cost. They don't add on lots of, it's not like they're charging you 25 quid and it's only costing them 15. So it's not cheap, no. But then shipping from America over to the UK is not cheap either. So mind you, yes, you are asking from the US. Laura says, "Good morning, peeps. I cut out much more accurately than the way you do, Shan." Yes, I find it much more accurate that way. Oh, sorry, itchy eyeball. Monique says, "Cheers, Shan." No worries. No worries. Hopefully it works. Debbie says, "Ooh, I'll have to keep an eye out for that." Yes. Ralph says, "I'm not buying fabric until I get at least some of my stash sewn into garments. I'm in mock-ups and new patterns are always a challenge." Yes, but so worth it when you get them done, aren't they? Okay, right. Let's get this cut out and see if we can squeeze a by hand London Anna out of the remainder. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed I can. I do like this fabric a lot. Like I say, because this one is cut all on the straight of grain, which I thought at least some of it was on the bias, but because this is all on the straight of grain, I'm not 100% sure that this is going to fit me or go over my boobs, because obviously when it's cut on the bias, it has more stretch. And I have put waist shaping into this because that is my preference. So this is definitely an experiment, but that's always good because it's good to find out if these things work, and if they do, great, and if they don't, then move on. So cutting out an Anna top out of this at the same time might seem excessive, but it will mean that I definitely get a wearable top out of this print, as well as my beautiful dress. So I'm good with that. Got concentration face back on. Trying to make sure that everything is definitely on grain. Did anyone watch Rachel Maxey's video that went up yesterday? Her Jeff Goldblum leather skirt. She makes me giggle so much. Very, very clever. I went to see Jurassic World actually the other night at the cinema. It was okay. It was one of those ones where it's like, this movie totally didn't need to be made. It was very predictable. I enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, I did enjoy it, but it was one of those ones where it was just like, yeah. But mind you, I thought that about Secret Life of Dumbledore, and I watched it again because, as you guys know, I have a Cineworld pass and I need to use it lots. So I went back to see that movie a second time, and actually I really enjoyed it more the second time than I did the first. So maybe I need to go and see Jurassic World Dominion again. I mean, I wasn't expecting like War and Peace. It's a Jurassic Park movie. Of course there's dinosaurs trying to eat people. But yeah, it wasn't my favorite. Although I am thinking, because I've got some dinosaur Liberty Lawn in my stash. Mum bought it to make James a shirt, and I got the remnants. So I was thinking I might try and do a video, because I'm trying to be a little bit more up on what's going on in the world, so that I don't want to say clickbait because they won't be clickbait titles, but making a dinosaur top to go and watch Jurassic World Dominion, that's something that lots of people are, well, just Jurassic, it's just a way of kind of trying to be a little bit, it's like why Rachel Maxey made herself a skirt with Jeff Goldblum painted on it, because it's something that's going on at the moment. It's like the strawberry dress that went nuts last year, was it the year before? I totally should have tried to make something like that, or done my take on that, because that was properly having a moment, and it might have introduced my channel to new people that hadn't seen my channel before. But I didn't do anything with it because I couldn't find a fabric I liked, and I didn't want to just make a dress for the sake of, I don't ever want to make stuff just because it's like a trendy in the public eye kind of thing at that particular time. I want to make clothes that I love and that I will actually wear. And like the strawberry dress, with the fabrics I could find, I didn't think I would wear that. But I do have some dinosaur fabric that I do want to make a top out of. So I'm thinking I might do a let's make a top to go and watch Jurassic Park Dominion for the second time and see if it's better the second time around kind of video, maybe something like that. That's why I'm going to be making the Stranger Things dress, because I have the fabric. I really want to make the Shelby dress with that fabric. I think it's going to look very kind of 80s, 90s. And I really want to watch Stranger Things whilst wearing that dress, because I is a strange person. Like channeling my inner 11. Oh, cutting out one layer there. That was silly. Where did I get to with the chat? Angela says, Minerva do quite a lot of Lady McElroy fabric, and the international shipping is amazingly cheap. Ooh, good knowledge. The only trouble with that is that they don't do the discounts that Sherwood's and Lady McElroy directly do. So it's kind of like weighing it up. Like, do you get the discount from Sherwood's and pay for the slightly more expensive shipping, or do you get the cheaper shipping? You need to weigh up which one's going to give you the better deal. Ladera says, my name is pronounced Ladera. Ladera. There we go. Thank you. Thank you very much for letting me know. I shall try and remember. Ralph says, I loved it. Anna says, Rachel Maxey's skirt was great. She is so talented. Very. Joe says, did you go see Everything Everywhere All at Once? Not yet, but I'm going to. Natalie says, Ladera, your name is so pretty. Sal, it is indeed, yes. Sal says there was a Lego Jurassic World display show here in Sydney, and they had full-scale dinos made out of Lego, like a 1-to-1 scale T-Rex head and Blue from the movie. Oh, wow. Monica says, oh my goodness, all this time and all I've done is one double-sided flounce sewn and pressed, pinned to the second one to be sewn, but I absolutely love today's hangout. My hubby is excited for Jurassic Park. Cool. Natalie says, oh my gosh, Rachel's skirt was amazing. She is so multi-talented. Yes, she is. She is indeed. Monica says, and you should use clickbait as much as you can. It's a smart way to use media for its purpose. Yes. Mary says, I cut out 2 Butterick 6417 VD minus sleeves this morning, and I'm sewing up my second new look 6217 skirt in pink and white stretch denim. Ooh, pretty. Monica says oh wow, to Mary, that's very productive. And Ladera says, thank you. Ladera, sorry. I will, words will go in my head. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, like, make the most of what's going on in social media and try and use it to your advantage. So some dinosaur top out of Liberty Cotton Lawn to go and watch a dinosaur movie. Themed dressing. Why not? Okay, so I need to mark in the dart. I do like it when they have neck darts at the back, because I do find otherwise my tops and stuff gape at the back. So unpin and get rid of the garbage. Mark in the darts. Might need to go and get myself another drink in a minute, you know. I have been talking a lot today. Well, I mean, when do I not talk a lot? Okay. So let's mark those in properly. And 1 and 2. And this side. Dot and dot. Okay. Oh, no. Putting it on the wrong pile. Putting it on the dress pile. Just imagine, come to sew the dress up and it'd be like, what's this weird piece? It's not part of the dress. I don't understand. Get myself very confused. It is easily done. Okay. Yeah. Did I get all the way up? I did. Okie dokie. Got to put some markings in. I'm really interested to see how this top turns out, because like I said, I really like the bias cut one. This will be interesting to see if I like the straight of grain one as much. And if I can get it on, I might have to kind of put splits in the side seams at the hips, possibly. But it is really the waist over my bust is what I'm worried about. We shall see. We shall see. Might be worrying about nothing. Okay. So, just the armhole facings to do. And then whatever we've got left, try and get a by-hand lanternana out of it. This will definitely be one where I will face my facings. So sew the interfacing and the fabric with the right sides together, turn it round and then press it so that the edge is finished as flatly and neatly as possible, so that because if I use bias binding on this edge, which is my usual preference, it could end up being a little bit bulky, so I'm going to want this edge to be as flat as possible. So I will definitely face my facings for this one, which there is a video on my channel of how to do, and I think it was the very lovely Carol that taught me about that. You just mentioned it to me, if I'm right, Carol. I think it was an article in Threads magazine that you pointed me in the direction of. You really shouldn't move your pattern pieces and fabric around as much as I am. But I have made sure that there are plenty of pins in these pattern pieces so that it shouldn't go off grain as you're doing it, but you really shouldn't move these around as much as I'm doing. You should move your body rather than the pattern piece. But these ones are really awkward with tiny little curves on them, so I have. How are we doing with the chat? Oh wow. Let's see. Monica says, Shan, Shelby sew along perhaps, pretty please. Honestly, it's really simple. I'm not doing the romper, I'm doing the dress. I was going to do the romper, but I have decided that it's just not worth, like jumpsuits. I have to really love a jumpsuit to put it on because the amount of effort it takes to go to the bathroom, basically. But honestly, the Shelby really is simple, I promise. I can have a look and see what True Bias's policy is on sew-alongs, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe like a making of, because I can give you like the pointers without being a direct. And I am planning on doing a making of, so I'll try and be a bit mindful about putting in the steps that I'm doing in that without it being like a proper step-by-step instruction, if that makes sense. Sal says, and there were little kids hitting them, which gave me major anxiety. Oh, the Lego. Yeah, no, that's not good. Nimue says, I'd like to make a rainbow bag I had planned for 2 years during the Pride month. I won't get the rainbow dress done in time for our Pride parade next Saturday. I'll wear Pride every time of the year. Yeah, me too. I wish my rainbow dress still fit. Ladira says, oh, I would love a sew along of the Shelby. Okay. Dipsy552 says, hi from New York, peeps. Just saw that Minerva is having a sale on Lady McElroy fabric. I only have 2 of their fabrics, but haven't sewn them yet. Trying to hold off buying fabric until I've done some sewing. Ooh, that's very well behaved of you. Mary says, I made my son a dress for Halloween as 11 a few years ago. The time his hair was very short, I tea coffee dyed a bright pink print from Joanne fabric. He wore a bloom raincoat, looked a dead ringer. I was pleased with the results. Oh, very cool. Mary says, I know, right? Usually I just get caught up in all the peeps interaction that I get very little done. You've been very productive today. Natalie says, I need cat advice. Since both Jonah and Pippa passed away this year, my third cat, Coco, has become very clingy and vocal. She's 14, but very social and playful, so I'm thinking of getting a kitten. That sounds like a really good idea. That sounds like a really, really good idea. I mean, I'm always for kittens. Nimue says to Mary, that sounds like an awesome costume. It does indeed. Mary Ellen, sorry. Jennifer says to Natalie, that's what we did with our eldest cat was getting ready to pass. We introduced 2 kittens to keep our older cat company. Natalie says, I'm worried they won't get along though, and I don't want to stress her out more, not sure what to do. Have you looked into fostering a kitten? Because if you foster a kitten, you're not taking on the responsibility of this is mine, somebody else is going to have this eventually, but it will give you a way of introducing your cat to the kitten, and if they get on, then you can keep the kitten, you can adopt it fully, properly. But if your cat doesn't like the foster kitten, then it was always going to be rehomed and you were just looking after it for a period of time. Have you thought about maybe trying it that way and seeing if that works? Because I know exactly what you mean. You don't want to stress your older cat out. But she might love having a new little kitten to play with and look after and boss around. Have you seen the Sad Cat Diary, Z Frank's videos? When the new kitten comes into the house. It's just, I love those videos. They're for Purina One adverts, I think, but the first one was just Z Frank being Z Frank, Sad Cat Diaries. The authorities have locked me out of the bedroom. They've left me here to die. I shall stand post and sing the song of my people at 3 a.m. in the morning. Like Sisyphus, I am doomed. Sorry. I really, really love the Sad Cat Diaries. Yeah, that's actually, it's actually just under a meter of fabric. There's probably 95 centimeters of fabric here, and that's too much for me to just turn that into bias binding. So, by Hand London and a top. To the rescue. And then what I've got left, cut on the fold, we'll go there, this piece will go there, like that. And then that little bit there that I've got at the end, I can turn into bias binding. Woohoo! Yay! Right, let's just iron these. This is the Swedish tracing paper, which is awesome. So I went from getting one dress out of this, or barely getting one dress out of this, to 2 tops and a full dress. Let's see. Kathy says, I have to go. It's been nice sewing together. Thank you for joining us, Kathy. Ralph says, Natalie, you could adopt an adult cat that is known to be good with other pets. Carol says, yes, it was me. I knew it was your kind of finish. It was indeed, Carol. Thank you for introducing me to it. Natalie says, I need a young cat. Dealing with 2 deaths close together has been devastating. I need to space out the grief. Definitely. Ralph says, Natalie, I wasn't thinking a senior cat, but 2-year-old kitty. Adult cats are harder to place than kittens. Caroline says, I went through some of my stash yesterday and found 3.7 meters of Cobra Corsage Noir that I had forgotten. How could I forget? Wow. Yeah, how could you forget? Ralph says, Natalie, what Sian says is brilliant. Foster cats are a good option. Natalie says, thank you. I will look into fostering. Hadn't even considered it because I am a dummy. Lol. No, I mean, it was just an idea, but I think it might be like perfect because it's the best of both worlds. If your cat doesn't like the new edition, then it's not permanent, and if it does, then you can adopt a kitty. I don't know how prevalent fostering is in the UK. I don't know. You think you're based in America, aren't you, Natalie, or is it Canada? I mean, I'm not 100% sure how it all works, but yeah, I am. Jackson Galaxy. I'm sure you've heard of him, but if you haven't, follow his channel for kitty advice. he has some very good cat advice. With like introducing cats to each other, how to like make sure that, you know, any behavioural issues, trying to work out the root of them and how to combat them, things like that. I'm glad I'm starting with the multicoloured part of this project, because otherwise there could be a lot of green going on, couldn't there? Nothing wrong with a lot of green. I like green, but I am glad that we're doing some interesting prints and colours. I mean, not that this is a print, not that this is a colour, this is monochrome, obviously. Okie dokie. This is going to go really nicely with that black twill, brush cotton twill skirt that I made in the Cobra Corsage collection. That's going to look really nice together. Somebody asked for a sew along for the By Hand London Anna bodice the other day, and I put it in the comments there, but I'm just going to say it again now, just in case anyone does ask for a sew along. I did ask By Hand London, and they asked me not to do a sew along because they were planning on doing a class, a paid for class. So that's why I have not done and won't be doing a sew along for the By Hand London Anna dress, because I asked if I could and they said no, which is totally fine. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to get enough bias binding for the hem of the dress. We shall have to see. But I will definitely get enough bias binding to do the centre back seam of the skirt of the dress. Which is awesome. Okay, so I do add side darts to the Anna because I do a full bust adjustment on this pattern. get to with the chat. Oh gosh, my phone's going nuts. Getting a million messages. Let's see. Ralph says, my husband is a foster failure. He always ends up trying to keep them. If they get along with him and the other cats, he's not happy about them leaving. That's why I'd be terrible at fostering kittens. They'd just be like, no, they're all mine now. Thank you for the new cats. Anna says, with introducing a new kitty to a cat or cats you already have, it really can take time, even as much as time as a period of months. That said, occasionally some cats accept newbies quickly. Yeah, given that yours had 2 companions, she might just be like, yeah, this is good. Sophia says hello from New York. Hello. Ralph says foster homes for cats are hard to find, but they save lives getting more homes than the shelter can support. Look up the Flatbush Cats on YouTube. They do foster cats and such, or the Kitten Lady. I love the Kitten Lady. Anna says, it takes time, patience, perseverance, small poor steps at a time. I used to help people with their pets to do exactly this. Oh, awesome. Yes, how many cats do you have, Anna? Is it still 9 or have you got more? Natalie says, I'm in Canada. I will definitely research before I jump into anything. I went through the introducing cats to each other twice, but Jonah never liked anyone but me. Well, yeah, no, Shiana would eviscerate anything that I brought into the room. So, no. Definitely not. No fostering for me. Caroline says to Anna, and you need to have spaces. They need to have spaces of their own for both so they can be peaceful if they want. Indeed. And Anna says indeed as well. Chris says, hi, Sean. Sorry, I'm so late tonight. You have the linoleum on your cutting board. It looks fantastic. I have it on. It's not properly attached yet. It still needs to be properly attached. But, you know, I thought unrolling it from the side and putting it down would be better than nothing. And it is. Caroline says to Anna, we have always found it so rewarding. Our vet nurse friend always says the right one is just waiting for us to have space. Natalie says, I live in a house with plenty of space for cat privacy. Not bragging, it's my mum's house. Awesome. It sounds like you're set up for it, Natalie. So let us know how you get on. New kitties, because we're going to need to see the kitties as well. I mean, obviously, you have to share in the Peeps group. We need to see the kitties. I mean, that kind of goes without saying, though, doesn't it? Right. 45-degree angle. Let's mark out some bias binding. There might be enough to do the skirt hem. That would be nice. Otherwise, I'll just use the satin bias binding, of which I have lots, because I also like how that looks. So there's plenty of options. There's so many movies coming out that I want to go and see. And I have the Cineworld pass, so I can. So I can't wait for Thor: Love and Thunder. Oh, I'm so excited. Saw the teaser trailer for The Little Mermaid that's coming out next year. Looking forward to that. I think I'm going to go and see Maverick again because I enjoyed it the 2 times that I saw it in the same night. Lightyear. The new Baz Luhrmann Elvis one looks interesting. Always got to love a bit of Baz Luhrmann. He always puts on a good show, doesn't he? So much coming out. Oh, Bullet Train. That looks fun. Brad Pitt looks so much better now he's older. I didn't used to like him when he was younger. He was very attractive in The Lost City. Very glad I went to see that because that was hilarious. It was very funny. What else is coming out? You guys are probably all showing at the screen right now, telling me all the movies that are coming out that I haven't listed yet. Oh, Black Adam, that looks good. I mean, The Rock kind of had to be a superhero at some point, didn't he? The new Mission Impossible, that's not out till next year, but that looks awesome. Susie wants to come in. Are you coming to terrorize me, little puppy? Come on then. Come on. I'm not leaving the door open. The neighbours are out in the garden. They're going to hear me talking and think I'm crazy. Having a one-way conversation. You're going to come say hi to the peeps. Yeah. A little pitter patter of little feet. Hello. Say hi to Alex if she watches this. Are you small and ginger? Are you going to go to your bed? Are you going to go sit in your bed? The bed has moved. There you go. She's like, no, I don't want to be in bed. It's got to be disconcerting not being able to see and flying around the room suddenly. Marta says, fostering exactly why we have 4 cats instead of 2. We just could not let the 2 foster kittens go. Anna says to Caroline, yep, it sure is rewarding. Also, animals choose us. Could not be more true with cats as they are the boss. Yes. Sal says, I'm going to see Moulin Rouge musical live production in Sydney in September. Very cool. Una's here. Hello, Shannon Peeps. And Susie, finally getting to sit down to a sewing machine. Ooh, what are you making, Una? Are you done, Suze? Do you want to go out again? Oh, no, you're down there. You're looking for Mum, aren't you? She's not in here. She's probably in the front room. Kind of went the wrong way, Suze. Are you done? You want to go back out? Okay. She's immediately like, oh, I can hear the neighbours. They're making noise. I must go and inspect. Oops. She wants to come back in. She's doing her best cat impression. I'm sorry, Suze, but you may not come back in. No, you may not. Get in there. I did have a Jonas Brothers song in my head earlier, and now I've got Elvis Caught in a Trap in my head after talking about the Baz Luhrmann movie. Sorry if anyone now has an earworm. Okie dokie. Almost done. Almost done. Oopsie. Okay, last line, and then I can start cutting it all. There we go. Yeah, that should give me a decent amount of bias binding. Debbie says, when my niece got married, Brad Pitt was staying in the same hotel. She and her husband got a photograph with him, and it hit the national newspapers. Sadly, we missed him. Aww. Yeah, I don't think I would be very good at actually meeting him in real life. I would probably just go bright red and faint or something stupid. So, yeah. But wow. Monique says, "Oh my gosh, I love Sophie. She reminds me of Sophie. She reminds me of my Chihuahua Pom Cross. We lost her in 2019. She was 17 and a half years old. Oh wow." Susie is a Plummer Terrier, which is Jack Russell, Fell Terrier, Beagle, and Staffy mixed in together. Una says, I'm trying to fix a mess I made of the wide leg pants. I thought I'd added extra to the height, and I am now 3 centimeters too short on the back. Whoops. I've produced a yoke using my fit jogger pattern, and I'm going to try and hack it on. Wish me luck. You can do it. Nimue says to Una, sounds like a solid rescue plan. Good luck. Caroline says to Anna, defo true that. And Sal says, also, I saw the real costumes of Moulin Rouge in person. Very cool. Natalie says, whenever I get a song stuck in my head, I sing Baby Shark and then they cancel each other out. Yeah, no, for me, I'll probably end up with Baby Shark in my head now. Thanks for that. So now that I've started making more of my own bias binding, this piece would have usually ended up in the scraps that was going to get sent out to somebody. But it's now going to be bias binding, so sorry. But I am very much enjoying having matching bias binding for the projects that I've been making. She wants to come back in again. You may not, Susie. Because she wants me to leave the door open so that she can come and go as she pleases. And if I leave the door open, she'll probably curl up in her bed and go to sleep. But like I say, my neighbours are out in the garden with some friends over, and their seating area is right there, and all they're going to hear is the one side of this conversation. I'm like, nah. They already think I'm crazy. Don't need to add to that by getting them thinking that I talk to myself. Oopsie. Let's start. Get quite a decent chunk of bias binding out of this, I think. Lots of joins in it, but you know what? That's fine. Before anyone tells me that I should get my rotary cutter and mat out, it probably would be quicker and easier, but I'm lazy and I don't mind doing it like this. Oh gosh, the neighbour's dog started barking. Does that mean Susie's going to join in? So far, so good, actually. The neighbour's dog is barking at the other side neighbour's dog. Oh no, Susie's growling. There's a bark. That means the little schnauzer's going to come this side and start screaming at Susie. So Susie's going to have to answer back because she can't let challenge go on. There we go. Oh. I might have to go and get her and bring her in if she keeps throwing herself at the fence. Stupid creature. Come on. Oi, oi. No. Hey. Come on now. Come on. She's wedged herself into the pot. She's wedged herself in the pot. Oh, let me do it. Dad's on his way. She's wedged herself in behind a plant pot so I can't get her. She growled at me, so I'm like, you know what? No. Yeah. The poor schnauzer next door had I think it's either 2 or 3 dogs move in all around it within weeks of each other. And none of them like other dogs. They all like people, but none of them like other dogs. So there's this poor little schnauzer in the middle that doesn't like any dogs. And she keeps having to go to all these different places to try and bark at the new neighbour's dogs that have come in to annoy her. That was the neighbour's dog. That wasn't Susie. You kind of have to giggle, don't you? Nearly done. She's massively misbehaving as well. She's like, I don't want to go in. She keeps turning around. She's walking a few steps and then waiting to see if Dad's going to make her actually go inside. Badly behaved creature. Getting there. 4 more lines to cut. And penultimate. And final one. Go. Bias binding. Decent chunk of bias binding. You know what? That is definitely going to do the hem of the skirt as well as the centre back seam. That's really good lift. I mean, obviously, there is the actual, really small bits in the to be recycled pile, and then there are a couple of bits that are in the scrap bundle pile. So, yeah, let's see. Una says, thanks to Nimue. Natalie's laughing at the baby shark thing. If it's not in my head. Actually, you know what? Nothing's in my head now. That's good. Ralph says, I sing Bohemian Rhapsody to clear my earworms. Probably going to have that in my head now. Una says, your dress looks gorgeous, Shan. Thank you. It's my first time wearing it, and I love it. I'm so glad I made both of them. Sal says, all the best people are a bit crazy. Yes, totally. Natalie says, did it take long to get comfortable talking to camera? Yeah, if you watch some of my early vlogs, I'm definitely way more stilted than I am now, I think. I say a lot in real life as well. I cut that out with the videos now. My brother, at one point, he was like, have you noticed that you say and then before you start a sentence? It was like, no. And then after that, I could not see it. And it was just like, oh my God, I say it every 5 seconds. It's like, oh, that's terrible. So I now cut those out. But I think it's one of those things where the more you do something, the more used to you get. So yeah. Oh, Kelly's here. Hello. And Laurel says, hooray, I've sewn 2 whole seams. I'm making a sort of caftan swimsuit cover up to have for visiting in my Texas in-laws and their pool. Nice. Carolyn says to Sal 100%, all the best people are a bit crazy. Yep. Carolyn says, Sodan is very interested in Susie's barking. Yes. Jennifer says, I have to leave so I can take a shower. See you all soon. Nice to see you, Jennifer. Una says, unpicking navy ponte that you already overlocked is such fun. Yeah, I do not envy you that. Carolyn says, vicious beast. She is, yes. Bless her. Monique says, her gravelly bark definitely reminds me of my old chi pom. My chi wire terrier hates when birds fly overhead in the yard. He once took off on a hike because he saw a helicopter. Oh no. Kathleen says, while watching, I'm trying to restring a wooden slat blind with the help of 2 cats. It's becoming a free-for-all. Oh my goodness. I'm sure the cats are properly helping, though, Carolyn says, Malinois is a bird murderer. Catches them as they fly by low, bird brains. I tried to save them, but I think they die from the shock of a dog jumping that high. Yes, I can imagine. We've been waffling for 4 hours, guys. I've got a dress and 2 tops cut out. I haven't got any of the lining done, but I'm going to do that now. And I think I'm actually going to call it a day, if that's all right. I was going to go and get some food, but the shop shuts at 4, so I'm going to have to go and find some food from somewhere else because I have nothing in the fridge. So, yes. Caroline says to Carolyn, Surden is a Malinois. Oh, so cute. Kathleen says, I love having you on while working on my upcycles. I'm working on a distressed crop jacket, adding vinyl detailing and fur trim to it. Very nice. Anna says, all my kitties are nested. Safi now joins them after we lost Crystal. Oh, so sad. It's so cute. So yes, I hope you guys have enjoyed all the waffle today. There's been a lot of it. A little bit hyper as well. I'll calm down a bit because this has started to kick in. I think it's the talking. But yes, so fingers crossed. So the idea for next week is fingers crossed, there'll be a waffle on Tuesday, a waffle on Thursday. Hopefully the buttons will turn up for this dress so I can do my making of the 9076 dress that I can then work on the sew along for. And if those buttons do turn up in time, there might be the sew along coming out on Saturday. We shall see. Otherwise, it's going to be either the By Hand London Anna border print dress, the jumpsuit, although I need lining for that one, the Shelby dress. No, it won't be that because I want to release that for the 1st of July. So, or the French Poetry Loon dress. Although no, that's a date for that for the early release for the Patreon peeps. So I'm not sure what Friday's video is going to be this week. Oh, I do have a white viscose back there for making the shirt. So that might be what comes out on Friday, because I want to start a series called Making the Basics, because we all know how I feel about a print. I have a lot of print. I don't have the kind of foundation pieces in my wardrobe that glue everything together. So like a white shirt, I made all those waistcoats. I need a shirt to wear underneath of it. It doesn't necessarily have to be a white shirt, but I'm going to start with a white shirt and then progress from there. So that might be something that comes out on Friday as well, like the making the basics series. So there'll be like black trousers, black leggings. I've written down a list of things, and it might not be necessarily your idea of basics, but it'll be stuff that works for my wardrobe and my kind of like lifestyle kind of thing. So yeah, maybe that one. Anyway, let's see, where did I get to with the chat? Noelia says, bye, have a good week. Thank you, you too. Caroline says, have a fab week, peeps. Same time next week, definitely. Mary says, bye till next week. Hopefully see you there, Mary. Sal says, good timing to end because need to sleep. Good. So good night, Sean and peeps. Good night. Nimue says, have a lovely week, everyone. Thank you. Anna says, thank you for keeping me company whilst I was clearing out the living room and sewing area. Very welcome, Anna. Thank you for joining us. Charlotte says, I've been very productive. I'm at 8 of 14 steps on the butterfly blouse. Must do this more often. Nice. Nice. Thank you for joining us, Charlotte. And Una says, sounds good. Why am I making navy palazzo pants? Althea, Alia, I'm so sorry. Have a good week. Thank you. Let me know how to say your name. Joe says, someone on the group asked if you could do a video for different fabrics, their qualities, and what you would use them for. They did, and I'm thinking about it. I am not an expert, though. And Monica says, second flat's done. Time for a snack before lunch. Sean, thank you so much. Thank you so much for everything. Hugs, darling. Goodbye, everyone, and have a beautiful day. Aretha says it's pronounced like Aretha, except with an L. Aletha, have I got that right? Did I get that right? Vox says, have a great day, everyone, and have a lovely week all from Natalie. Right, okay, I could waffle on for ages, couldn't I? So I hope you've enjoyed it. I will see you on Tuesday. I got it right, yay! Aletha, yay! I will see you all on Tuesday for the waffle, and then Thursday for a waffle, Friday for a proper video of something or another. Anyway, try and end it gracefully. See you soon. Bye.